Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Super Bowl Game Saturday. We're on Friday, though, for this one, for our final show of 2022. We're back to Strange Horticulture. I'm Captain D-Trag.
I'm DollyFinn.
And I'm Inhuretnakht.
So good to have you, DollyFinn, again. Inhuretnakht, good to see you again. You haven't been on the show since a year. It's been a year, but...
It's been almost exactly a year, right?
Yeah, actually, tomorrow would be a year, feasibly, as far as how it is. But so good to have you again. So good that you were able to join us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. And I might have something special for him as it is going on a little later on the show because we're playing Strange Horticulture again. We started the game last week. I actually did not upload anything to the YouTube site. I didn't do an edit specifically on this. I'm going to be editing both of the parts into separate episodes that will go up next week. I'm taking a week off for the holidays. But the original recording of last week's show is on Twitch here. We're recording this, and when I do have this edited, part 1 will be up there. There'll be a link. There'll be, a playlist for the entire game because we're finishing the game tonight. We're at day 12. So last time we took a look at this macabre point-and-click game, and we were going through the mysteries of Undermere, trying to figure out the situations going on with the witchcraft in the area, or the witch coven specifically. There's elements going on of a murder of the Arda, as it is, and so we've been kind of involved in running our nice flower shop. We've identified about 44 or so flowers here. We got tons of them to the point where, the frame rate's starting to get a little pokey, but as I said, it's still better than Pokemon Gen 9, which Nintendo made for this console. But yeah, you got tons of plants here. We're all set for this. We are running the Switch version as it is again, and tonight we're going to finish the game. We're going to have a couple extra things if you're like, hey, I want to see something else other than Strange Horticulture. We got you covered for our final show of 2023, and I cannot wait to get started, so I think we can get started as it is. Although, DollyFinn, I think before we get started, you want to add something as far as some of the background of the game before we ring that bell for the next customer. You want to go into that?
So I'm a puzzle lover.
Yes,
That's
you are.
Really the best thing I can say.
Yeah, she was in our puzzle showcase to indicate that for sure, and I'll link to that below. But go on.
And this is a slow-paced puzzle.
Yes,
and I think that's what separates it from some of the other games. And some of the people writing, some of the critics were writing about it and saying, one said, quote, players will either find it quite relaxing or intensely boring depending on one's tolerance for slow-paced puzzlers, but unquote. But I think that it's important that there is a game for everyone. And someone else said, from the Washington Post, quote, the gameplay itself is tedious, but it's kind of tedium that's easy to get lost in as you vibe along with serene but slightly spooky atmosphere. And yes, I think the thing is it's not really tedious. It's actually just it unfolds and you look at new things and you're going to Undermere and you're locating things and you're identifying plants, but it sort of it plods along at a very slower pace than some of these other puzzle games, certainly the ones that I like, but like Tetris. But it's actually really interesting and it's very relaxing. And it's beautiful to look at.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you're the reason we're playing this game. It's worth pointing out. You said, hey, I'm curious about this. I want to show it for the show. Yeah. We showed it as a preview when we did the puzzle showcase, and then now for the full play from last week's show and now this week's show. And yeah, that's well said as far as the idea of that, and also the idea of, we can get into that discussion, games with a deliberate pace and the question of whether you gel with them or not. We're going to get into that when we get to Shenmue for sure, because that's another one that's... People kind of said the same thing. People like me who adore it, but other people said, hey, this game is too slow. It seems like it's something you have to either get in that rhythm, and if you're not able to get in that rhythm, it's not going to gel with people.
Right.
But
that is true. That
being said, there's a lot of people I've talked to when I said we're going to do this game who kind of got into it, even who would say, like, hey, I wouldn't necessarily like a game like this. And Inhuretnakht, since you're here, and you have seen this game before, I know I've shown you this game as it was, what's your background on this, or of other point-and-click games like this, specifically? Because I know maybe some of those go back years for you.
I mean, if you go back really far, and I guess while the style of the game is very different, it was still a point-and-click game. You could think back to Myst.
Oh, yeah.
It was a puzzle game with an immersive three-dimensional environment, but it was still a very slow-paced point-and-click game.
Yes.
And there was a mystery to unravel in many ways. It was quite challenging. I don't know how it compares in terms of length and difficulty to this one. It's definitely a very different aesthetic, but there's some similarities, perhaps some superficial similarities.
I would think so. This game is way easier and shorter, I think, because of the way the puzzles are in this, whereas with Myst, they get pretty cryptic, and I still have the copy of Myst that we bought back in the 1990s. I can run on my DOS box, so we can have the play of the PC version, or I could get one of the console ports as it is, but actually if I can get that PC version, that might be worth going into. Because yeah, that's an interesting thing. I'm glad you brought that up. We talked Myst before on this program. Also about the atmosphere. We mentioned that a lot of times. We've actually shown more point-and-click games than you might think, especially this year. I know Nikki was that way when she showed off the 2 games in Freddy Fish franchise, the first 2, The Case of Missing Kelp Seeds and The Case of the Haunted Schoolhouse, where they're kind of edutainment-based for children, but also not exactly, because they're ex-LucasArts people who worked on them. So that's kind of what that was about, but also that idea of kind of exploring, getting involved with the world, and in their unique ways for all 4 of those, telling story, really getting you soaked in. And the idea that I think in that way it does a really good job of kind of getting people excited to play it, even if it is something that's a bit slow. I've talked to a lot of people that's like, what is this? I want to buy this. As like DollyFinn was the one who showed me this and said, we're going to play this. And so like, hey, they were kind of looking at this. They could look at the screen too and say like, hey, I can put together pieces of the puzzle even if you're not necessarily the one holding the controller for it. So it almost becomes this weird kind of community game, which is unique.
That's true.
And, well, just to go back quickly then, for the case of where we are with day 12, we got this letter on day 11. It's talking about the Woken Dendru, which is loyal to the summoner, becomes master and bending terrible power to its will. Many years ago, the ritual importance was created near Black Combe, south of the Watch of the Great Oak. The Dendru is ousted from this world, but though we know 5 plants required for this ritual, the specific plants are not known. And we did have that, going back to our bios a little bit. These are some of the people we met last time, of Faye Swift, Bethany Coleman, Verona Green, who's on the cover of the game when you download it. Reuben Ward, who is the police investigator. He's looking as far as murders going on, but he has a little of a soft stomach as it is, understandable given what's going on. Simone Green, who's been our hookup for all this information. She's a librarian over in Ambleside. Forrest Vare, who's a hunter.
Ambleside is a real place.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. You want to go into that more?
Well, the game is based on, well, I don't know what it's based on, but it's set in the Lake District, which is a real place in England and a popular kind of holiday destination for hiking and outdoor pursuits.
Yeah.
Very rugged, and there are sheep as well.
Yeah, and you mentioned actually when I first showed you this, because we were kind of planning this game actually when you were on the show last year, as far as we're going to do this game eventually, we just had to figure out what the logistics were. You were saying that this is based on a real place. You were the one who brought that knowledge. I think you even said you had been there at one point in your life. And in that case, you're a very interesting one to bring to this, to kind of look at this and say, okay, how much is this getting, as far as its attention to detail, on top of the people who made this game, as it was. Kind of skeleton crew who made, as I mentioned. But yeah, you're right, that idea of kind of going into that specifically is we have Forrest Vare, who's the hunter around here. The woman in the Jane mask, we don't know who she is, and you can look at her chat log, go back and see what's going on.
What they're saying about you.
Yes. So you basically, anytime they've come to the shop, they will take element of that. So if you ever played Phoenix Wright or L.A. Noire, they'll have an indication of that.
Okay.
This is the cultist, which, as I mentioned, Gemini 96, he picked out right away. He looked at him and said, this guy looks like a cultist. Like, let's go in the box. Like, he is a cultist, so it's the case he kind of willed that in. He's saying, praise the Woken Dendru. He's clearly all about that. In fact, he does say that specifically, saying here, praise the Dendru. And he's like, yeah, give a sacrifice specifically to it. But then we have Isidore Burbage, who's the barrister, who's kind of an asshole in all honesty, because he's been talking shit about our cat. Like, yeah, we're not going to take that in this game.
Yeah, I didn't like that cat.
And we easily could have given him something to make his rash worse, but we didn't have the thing to do it.
We should have done.
And Amos Duncan, who we've been communicating since the beginning of the game, because he was in connection with our late uncle who gave us Strange Horticulture, the name of the shop here as well. He's saying, hey, I got some stuff. I think he's the one who gave us information on this. But now...
Ding, ding.
Yeah, let's ring the bell and see who's coming in. There's Boris there, right there. So he's the hunter. He's going to Black Combe. Okay. I'll kill the servant. Yeah, they said last week that there is a servant, feasibly a creature of some sort that came back from ancient times, I believe it was. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm not afraid. There's no such thing to die hunting a noble adversary, so he loves the thrill of the hunt, I guess. Can you bring me Ember Soul or Lesser Mary Doc? Okay, we got this last week. We don't know what this is, so I'm going to put it away. I'm going to put this away too. So
get out the book.
Yeah, get out the book. If you've never played this game before, just to go into that.
We have Ember Soul.
We do.
Ticked off, yep.
We've done it, okay, which is good, because what has happened, just to give you an idea to everybody out there, and to you Inhuretnakht as well, from last week, as we've gone on, we've been able to label the plants when we've identified them, and by doing that, we can just look and give him what he wants. But we have a choice here to give him something else.
Up on the top, straight up next to the weird purple one. It's the one next to the left. To the left of that one.
Oh, you remember that off of just from last week. Damn, even I didn't remember that. Okay, so It says here protective properties are sometimes given as an offering to deities.
Good.
One thing before I give it to him, I'm going to take a look in the book about Lesser Meridoc to see what he's saying about that, which we haven't identified, and you can. The round flower is made of small yellow florets. A single drop can drain a person's mental facilities, rendering them slow and incomprehending. So, remember, this game has 8 endings. We give him the Meridoc, that could turn out bad for him.
Right.
Feasibly. So you do have a choice. You can give him the other one if you want to.
We're gonna give him the other one.
But you want to give him the Ember
Soul.
Soul, that's fine. We can definitely do that. He said, I'll take that. And it is what he asked for, so you may as well. And boom, there you go. And when you get it the right thing that they're asking for, it's identified if it hasn't been, and then you can label it. If you don't have auto-label on, you get another entry in the book for Widow's Woe. Kempfoot is it's known. And so off he goes. And you give out Hellborn as pets. So who's next? Milton Forbes. I'm trying to remember if we've seen him. Okay. What are you talking? I own a small shop that specializes in curiosities.
Curiosity shop owner.
Okay. I'd have thought that some of your position ought to be interested in perusing our collection of manuscripts on elixirs, for example. Okay, and he's giving us a note. Sometimes they won't come in and ask for a flower or something, but they'll give me something. It's alright. Arnside Antiques, 21 Orchard Road. Arnside Antiques, huh? Well, we do have Will to Explore. That's filled up there. So let's take a look and see what we got.
Is there a place called Arnside?
Probably is. So we can at least take that, and when we have the Will to Explore, you can pick anywhere on the map to go. So
Orchard
where's
Road?
Arnside? I don't know if they indicate roads on the map, though. That being said, we can get
Arnside?
Arnside, huh? Yeah, that's the idea of what's going on. Okay, so let's see. Also, I might potentially be blocking Arnside. Here it is, in fact, right there.
Oh, there it is.
So there it is. So you have your option when you have Will to Explore to do anything on the map like that. So let's go in. And if it's something that there's something good there, you'll get notes like this and perhaps letters. If it's something that doesn't do anything, that's like, why'd I come here? And you could feasibly go somewhere where it's a bad part of town and they'll beat you up and you get your Rising Dread increased.
Dark exterior of Arnside blends into its surroundings. A tailor called Jones and an ugly-looking haberdashery, to the extent that I walk past it 3 times before I find it. Inside, I'm greeted by a world of intrigue and wonder. Old trinkets sit alongside faded books and manuscripts, while strange utensils and machines, their uses unfathomable, occupy rows of display cases. It's some time before I peel myself away, returning to Undermere with 2 new recipes for elixirs that demand further study. Okay, we got 2 letters which you can read. So, also last time we got the ability to use our mixing materials. There we go. So you can basically mix stuff up to create elixirs. So we've got letters about the Elixir of the Damned and St. Quentin's elixir. St. Quentin's will allow them to overcome sense of fear, but it might not be a bad thing to some degree. So yeah, if you're near edge of a cliff, it's not like, don't kill yourself, everybody, because otherwise you'll just jump off that cliff and not think twice about it. Ooh. But made from a combination also of Arboretum Alacritus. Oh, fine. They also give the Latin names, and they're in the book as well for that. It's dangerous, extreme caution is advised, so to bring the person back from the brink of death, but at the expense of their soul. Okay. So feasibly we might have an idea of what we can do with this, and we can feasibly make any of this stuff as it is. So I guess in that case, we can also multitask, as I mentioned. So we can ring the bell and say, like, hey, who's coming in? Here's Face Swift again. And she might come in for something specific, but we can also make the elixir as we go along. I understand what I need to do now. When your librarian friend visits tomorrow, give her this instead of the palliance she'll ask for. Wait, you know she's going to ask for something, huh? She knows something she's not telling you. Okay, we're getting a free plant for this. Okay, thank you. What it is, we don't know. And okay, shit, that's the end of the day already. Do we want to make the elixir? Just go to the end of the day. We could.
We try and figure what it is.
A 5-point leaf to grant courage. Right. There's a 5-pointed leaf right above, on the bottom there.
Uh-huh. Also, do you want to feasibly take the element of the controller if you're like, hey, I want to look at as far as something like this? Let me know.
I'm thinking it's that 5-pointed pink leaf right up the top here.
Which one?
Now it's this shelf here, that one.
This?
Is that a 5-pointed leaf?
It looks like it is. We can also look at the book. Yeah, because we haven't necessarily identified this yet, as we're pointing out.
That's a 5-point. Let's see what that is.
Sweet scent, like strawberry dipped in honey. When you do a look over, by the way, of that.
Do courage. So that wouldn't be that one because it needs to grant courage. There's another 5 leaf, but not pointed.
Uh-huh. Maybe it's a case yeah, we could also look in the book to get a sense of what this is, or you can also look at, find the Elixir of the Damned and see that do we have what's here.
Yep.
Maybe we can take a look at that. We do have to look at the Latin names as it is. Okay, so Arbutum Alacritus is Cabalia. We did indicate that. So in that case, we can start with that one. Just have to find out where that one is, because we have so many marked. Got to keep an eye on where they are. Winterboar, Wild Coal, Candlewood, Wren, Common Trowse. Yeah, since we have so many we've identified, and we also made sure to get them set. Yeah, just look where the tags are. Cabalia. Okay, so there's Cabalia. And when you do have something you want to make an elixir, you can toss it into one of the slots. That's one. Macoius retinentia. Okay, so what is that? Okay. It is, by the way, the Latin name for everything is below the main name right there. So let's see.
I think it's possible you might have just scrolled past it.
You think so?
I don't know. If you go a little slower. One more. Maybe one more page.
Unless you see
Probably not, but I... No, okay,
We got
keep
that
going.
one.
Just a bit,
Okay, so nothing yet, but that's fine. Memphis Fortis. Okay, so that's one that they indicate. That's Dranthium. We found that too. That was the one that had really long weaves. Wherever that is.
Can you alphabetize your plants?
Based on where you plant them, yes you can. We just put them based on what we had marked. As it is, there's fortunately not a quick button to press to alphabetize them. But if you do want to, you can take the time to pick them up with the A button, move them around, place them down, and put them down by the name if you so desire. So in that case, I mean, if nothing else, we can make this thing. We don't necessarily have to use it. So it's Dranthium. So yeah, we found out what we needed for the Elixir of the Damned to start, which is we need Dranthium, we needed Cabalia, both of which we have, and then the last one is
Maculosis retinentia.
Thank you. Yeah, that's really good, actually. So let's see. Right here, Henchuck. Okay, we did not identify this. So what you can do is, since we didn't have to identify anything yet, actually until now, and we don't have to do this right now. They might come in the store and say, "Hey, can you figure out what this is?" You can basically pull something out. You do?
Well, I'm not sure, but I think I might see it.
Where is it?
Move to the left a little bit. Keep going.
Okay.
Slightly more and stop.
Stop.
That one?
To the left. To the
No,
left.
the left. The
Oh,
big with the bulb.
this
thing.
one.
The yellow one. Yep.
Wait, this one?
Yep.
Okay.
Is that the one that smelled like
Honey.
honey? Sweet scent smells like honey. When the outer layer hardens and turns blue-green, it's ready to harvest. So that's kind of yellow.
Right.
How about the one blue
Might not
at
be
the
that.
end there? The blue. Keep going down, 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 down. Up.
This
No,
one?
that one?
next to it, to the right.
This?
Could be that one.
Yeah.
The one with the berries. Let's see. Firm turquoise in color for the bulb. Okay, tuberous bulb, unusual structure.
Turns
The orange
blue-green, which is kind of turquoise. Or no, it's ready to harvest. Oh no, it's
Does
turquoise.
it say anything about fruits on it?
When cut to open.
Yeah, because you do have to kind of go off the clues a little bit as far as how it is.
Seems like we may have to keep looking.
We might have to. That's fine. I just wanted to see if we could do that, and we can also look into the book later on St. Quentin's Elixir. But since we did reach the end of the day, we can just close up shop. Because we're not far to the end of the game, honestly. So we're kind of going well. Okay, and at the end of the day, you do get a tarot card drawn, which tells you something. Okay, so, Enmore Raven Spider. With the artist's knowledge, she journeyed west to the Stone Circle, but unbeknownst to her, she was not alone as she made her preparations. Okay, so that's our tarot card clue for the day. You get one of these, and you can put the pieces together, usually for exploring map, as it is, as we're at day 13.
We made that last elixir that time.
Yeah, we did, and we have two of the parts
I
of
know.
this, of the Elixir of the Damned at least, but I don't know if we...
Anything else
want
with a
that right
bulb
now.
on the bottom? Is it possible that we don't? I see the top one up there. Up one to the left. That
This,
one,
the
Forest Camphor.
Camphor.
That's got a bulb too.
The bulb is soft yellow, its leaves waxy. You can
No.
also look at the book again to see what does the
No.
book say.
That's not.
Although we've already identified this as,
Yeah.
what was it? Forest
No.
camphor.
There's no other else with a bulb, is there? Or is that one next to it a bulb? The one next to the forest camphor? No, the other
This?
side.
The wren,
Wren.
or the Lady of
The
Summer.
wren has a bulb.
Let's
The wren
see.
has a bulb.
I saved the
Oh,
scratch at the back
no.
of my throat.
No. it
So
doesn't
nothing right now.
So it's possible we don't have it.
We might, but as I said, we can also look in the book because the book might
Tell
give
us.
other clues for certain things.
What we looking? What's it say we need? What is it supposed to be?
It's
It's supposed
the,
to have.
It is the. Let me pull up where it is. It was the. It's not this, but I wanted to see. It was close enough to this.
No, what
It's
is
henchuck. That's what we're looking for. We've not identified it yet, although maybe our
fruit?
customers.
Startling
okay.
effects on memory.
Fruit. Okay, so
The
that.
fruit. So
it
that's
could
that
be
one
thi-
with the fruit.
It could be this one. That's true. So that is a possibility. If
Could
we
When
want
the
to
outer
say
layer hardens and turns blue-green.
Okay, get to the fruit again.
this one.
Yeah, is that the one that turns turquoise? No, the orange fruit is no. Yes, and turquoise in color. Blue is blue-green, kind of turquoisey. I mean, if we use the wrong one, we lose a little bit of our
Well,
life.
and it's worth pointing, the Raising Dread does reset at the beginning of the day, so you know what? We can give it a shot, and if we do get this right, we also can eliminate specifically what henchuck is. So fine, we'll assume that's henchuck for now. We'll get the other two that we needed, which were, let's see, what were they? It was Dranthium, which was, I'll close this out. Dranthium was, where was it? Hang on. Dranthium is right here. And the other one was,
Does it tell you
Compilation.
when you're wrong? Does it tell
yeah.
you which one it is?
I think it will, though when we did the elixirs last week,
We
we
got-
didn't get it wrong. We got it right.
We got it right. So will it tell you if you get it wrong which one
I
you're missing?
think so. Well, fine. I think it'll tell you, hey, fine. We know which one we're missing if we don't get it, because we've already identified Cabalia, and we already identified
Well, where?
that one right there. So we've identified two of them. It's just the last one we don't know. So in that case, we're set. I just have to find
Oh, I
where
can't
that
go
one is.
slower. Then we.
I said, hey, you just give me a sec. Let's see. Where is it?
It's
Because
only got the 6 petals, right? It's the 6 peddler.
It's the one also that I think was yellow. Let's see, where is it? Shimmeron, Lemon Dandy, Gandy Root, Butterdale, Brimlock, which is Fig, Contrast, Wren, Lady of Summer, Jacobsworth, Candlewood, Fever Kiss. Yeah, we had it, so
We did?
we identified it. That's what the check mark in the book means.
Oh, okay.
And I saw it earlier before, it's just that I decided let's go to the next day
That's the next.
before we did
next
anything.
over there,
Because
maybe.
honestly, it doesn't matter right now.
Cabalia.
There it is, right there. Perfect.
All right.
So let's create this and see what happens.
When the librarian comes in, she may critique your organizational skills.
She might.
Try to introduce
We
you
did
to
do it. I
dozens.
think that's it. Assuming that's the one. So in that case, we can just label this.
Woohoo!
Oh, well, fine. We did do it because it just said the check off. So, okay, two things. We're going to mark off good eye on both of you for that. Where is
Thank you.
the... There, it's right here. So this was... What was the name of this one? Actually, you know what? I can... Oh, okay. I'm holding the tag over it and turning the page at the same time.
Hen chuck.
And Chuck.
How much hen could a hen chuck if a hen chuck could chuck hens?
Well, either way, if they drink this, they'll be fucking dead, but either way.
Hen chuck.
Okay, so that's henchuck, so we're able to indicate right there, and you also have your choice of color, so you can put it to red, or what do you... Inhuretnakht, what do you want to hit as far as color on this?
That's fine.
That's
Red. Okay. And in that case, we can also organize it closer to this. In fact, since it is over there, and there's the...
Yep. Good.
Wait a second,
That's our
No, that's the other one we indicated. I don't think we put
Well, there's 2. There's one over there.
So fine, this is Elixir of the Damned, so I think we can put on that. Elixir
Of the damned.
of the Damned. And also, you can set it so that it will
Elixir.
auto-label.
I believe so.
I think it's IR elixir.
Yeah, a second. just have to go back. Yeah, because you are running on the Switch's keyboard for this, or you can have it auto label. But I'm not auto labeling. And also, fine. The other one we found, I may as well go into the archive. Actually, we can toss this one in the archives since we don't need it anymore.
Bye bye.
And look in our archive, we can see
How much we've done.
we've done a lot, but I also want to see where that.
Tons.
Now I'm looking for one that said elixir of Baylock's elixir. Okay, so fine, that was the one. I just want to make sure that I knew what
Label
it
it
was.
right. Okay.
So do we ring the bell next?
After I indicate
Label the
Baylock.
Baylock's elixir.
Okay. Because I didn't actually indicate that one from before. I guess it didn't matter specifically, but yeah, at this point we're set. We can figure Quentin's later. We also have this card we can do. We may as well get a customer in, because
Yeah.
why not?
Ring that bell.
Okay, Grace
Raven.
Enright. We saw her once, I think, last week. Have you heard of the Masked Woman? Yeah, we have. She's come in. Imagine having that amount of power. Nations kneel before you, and you'd be a god.
Oh.
Yeah, the creature is huge and stubborn, says obeys your every command. So she's saying that that woman in the mask is running that. It's very helpful with my father-in-law tomorrow. So give me some Daisy Duck. Okay. So let's see what Daisy Duck is. Daisy Duck. Okay. Will grant courage and brood from leaves. It said that ancient warriors would take it before going into battle. So with that, we have right there, I'm hitting the ZR button, by the way, to look at the magnifying glass again. And based on what we have here that we've not identified, this looks like a potential as a candidate.
Yeah.
We can get
it
a sense
does.
of what this is.
That looks like the leaf.
Bush purple flowers.
Doesn't say though at all in there. It's simple for grand courage. It doesn't tell us much about it, but it does. The leaf.
It doesn't.
The leaf looks just like. The
I
leaf.
think it's that one, but I'm going to hold
I
off.
do
I'm just
too.
going to look around and see if there's anything else on this bottom row until we get to identifying stuff that looks like it might be that instead. I think it's that too.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's that question you have to look.
Keep going.
Wait, which
Keep
one
going.
are you seeing?
One more.
This one?
Yeah. Let's see that leaf.
Okay.
That's a 3-leaf purple flowers with a gentle scent.
That's not quite it.
How do we know?
Because of the fact that the pattern of the leaves
Oh,
right
look
there,
at you.
It's 3 instead of 5. The picture is 5.
Okay.
So
the other
in
one
that-
have it? Does the other one have the number? Oh,
Let's
look at
count
you.
the number then. That's the other thing. You sometimes have to look very specifically
Take it
at the
close.
picture
All right.
and also at the clue they might give, because they won't tell you
Okay.
everything.
1, 2, 3, 4,
5. I think it's this one, but I just want to see,
Yep, you're right.
just in case there's anything else. Okay, there's nothing
No,
else.
go
It's
for
this.
it.
This has to be it. All right, Daisy Doc. Perfect. Fantastic.
Oh, we know that already. We've got Dead Man Finger up there.
Yeah, we can put that on
Let's
if
put
you
it
want
on.
to.
We
In
know
fact,
what it is.
Dead Man's Finger, I think, is this one,
It is
right?
that one. Yep.
Dead Man's Finger or Dead Man
Dead
Finger?
Man's Finger.
Okay.
M-A-N apostrophe S.
Yeah, and the only reason we know that one is because we've seen this before. We've seen the clue, which, by the way, just to show you what the clue is, once again, so we did do this last week, looks eerily like Ghostly Hand, and as it was called, what was it called? Oh, wait.
Dead Man's
Dead
Finger.
Man's Finger, okay. And I'll remember to hit Daisy Duck.
Fingers.
Fingers.
That's all right.
Okay, so it's you can look at the corpse reaching underneath.
Yeah,
Looks
it
like a
does.
ghostly hand, so that's kind of the clue. It's a strength and resolve. So all right, let's put
Now
that
put
over
the
here.
Daisy Dock now.
Just a second, let me find where it was, because it will go back to the place that you had it originally. That is, what is this one, right? This was that.
No,
no, it wasn't.
no,
that
it
one.
wasn't. It's the one up there to the left, other purple one. There
Right
you go.
there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know that thing we didn't look at?
What?
That thing that said spider something, raven something.
Not sure completely. Keep going as far as
It's behind the clipboard. It says raven, endmere,
Oh,
spider.
this?
Yeah, is the Wheel of Fortune anything? You know that wheel, does it have a raven or a spider on it?
Yeah, the wheel, we'll pull the wheel. The wheel is called something else, but fine, we're calling it that way as well. I'll put a tag list item.
Is there a raven or a spider on there? There's a
Let's
there's a
see.
raven.
Enmore, Raven, Spider.
Two
Okay,
of them.
so
Okay, so
good indication.
There's a spider over
so
there.
where is it, Raven? Where's
The Raven's up at 12 o'clock. But you got to find Endmore.
Wait, where's no wait,
Right
where's
at the top. Oh, Endmore.
no? They're saying Enmore. Where's that?
Endmore. That we got to find.
Right here. So Enmore's there. So as we showed last time, you take the dryer wheel. That's the official name of it. Put it right there. Raven, which is right there.
Right, and then Spider's on the left.
The spider's on the left, so feasibly could be two places, I guess.
Okay. Let's try.
So let's try the Raven. Why'd I come here? That's fine.
Unless the reason why it. Wait a minute. There's two of them. Maybe it's some. Okay.
Well, let's get our mail. David Schaefer, by the way, is our mailman.
Speedy delivery.
Yeah, we referenced Mr. McFeely in last week's show, so that's the reason why. If you're wondering, like, what the fuck is this? That's why. No address provided, just the horticulturist, and they spelt it wrong.
Horticulturist.
Yeah. Assume it's for you, because there's nobody else who handles that. Oh, we got tons of wheel to explore, so we can go back and do that, or...
If you know your plans, this letter is for you.
Yeah, you say that, but I'm also curious about one other thing, which is... Yeah, we got this last time. You put the red ebony onto this, and you can use it. It turned it on, and you basically look at the hidden elements on the letter. So,
okay, ho.
So you got
it working. Oh yes, it works. It works. Look to the north of Bowfell, at the source of the river Esk. Nobody knows it grows there. It will be a little secret. But the north of Bow's river Esk.
Okay, so you can look at the rivers specifically. River Esk. Okay, here's River Esk.
At the source, Bowfell's up top. Keep following all the way.
Bowfell's right there. There it is.
To the north of Bowfell. Okay, that's it.
It's right here.
One. Yep, try that one.
Sure enough, we found it. So another plant we've never seen before. There we go. There's another one. Fantastic.
I'm gonna see that other one. That
the Enmore Raven Spider. What we can do is we can try that. And by the way, if you're wondering how do I do, just to remind the audience out there, if you didn't see part 1 Inhuretnakht, because I don't know if you've have you played this game, by the way?
I've seen it. I haven't really played it.
Okay. It is on PC. There is a free demo, by the way, on Steam, which we'll point out if you're curious. And it's half off on all the stores except the Xbox system, because for some reason this game doesn't go on sale on the Xbox consoles. Don't ask me why. It goes on sale on Switch and on PC. I guess it does on Mac as well.
It's watering to get the will to explore full. Once you get it full, you can go back and try to find. So I want to go back and find it with the spider and the raven.
And thankfully, you can't overwater your plants. Just to go back into that specifically. So
the game isn't totally realistic.
No. Fine. I mean, Harvest Moon, you can't do that either. Specifically, as far as that, that's another game for that. So that was where the raven was. There was nothing there.
Spider. Try the spider.
Let's try the spider. I can see Sayres River to the northeast across the river, so it's nothing. So unfortunately, that is not it.
I wonder if it's between, because it says ERS.
Right.
ERS.
Yeah, what does that mean?
East. Right.
Well, and more, they're giving us
a coordinate system, so you need an X and a Y coordinate.
Oh, it could be the E, the R. Yeah, because the E's are down there.
Well, I guess I meant if you bring up the wheel again, whatever the thing was called.
The dryer's wheel.
Set it down in the spot.
Set it down in the spot.
I have to find where it is first.
There we go.
So if you imagine that the raven is the Y coordinate.
Yeah.
And the and then the other one is the X coordinate.
Yep.
So you could move to the point where those two intersect.
That's a good element. Actually, that's something that Gemini 96 came up with.
And where were they intersecting?
Well, you draw an imaginary line through the spider going left, right? You draw an imaginary line through the raven. It could be that it's to the left, diagonally, somewhere there. But I guess you'd have to. I don't know how much of a penalty you pay for.
Yeah, you lose your will to explore. We don't have enough.
That's nothing though. So if you want to try it,
it's a possible idea, because otherwise it would seem like why would they just give you incorrect information that you shouldn't use? It seems like you ought to use both pieces of information.
Right.
See it again. Can we see that ERS thing again?
Actually, also the other thing is, since we do have the will to explore, we can pass the way. Because it is saying start there.
So RS.
But there's Enmore.
Where do they meet? Okay, go back. Let's see.
So also the other thing is we can put this off to the side for now. So like here's Enmore.
Well, I think it's pretty clearly asking you to use this wheel.
I know, but what I'm saying is I'm moving it out of the way because remember it covers up the coordinates.
So if that's the spider, now so put your cursor with spiders. Now slowly move up square by square, straight up, straight up, straight up, straight up. I think it might be that one.
This?
Or the one right below it, I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
that one right
Well,
below.
we can try both. Which one do you want to try first? H25
I guess
or
the one
I25?
above it would be more in keeping with the spirit of the thing.
You got it. And there you go. When it works well, you have that. You burn up. Good job. Inhuretnakht on that one. So a
Jackdaw croaks, hidden somewhere nearby. Strange shapes of all stones pierce the long grass. Among them, some plants grow. 2 plants.
Boom. There you go.
Woohoo!
So there they are.
Fantastic.
So there you go. So good job as far as that. So let's see what our next customer is.
Oh, it's
Thor
done.
Okay. I was like to forage for mushrooms, but I'm worried about the ones he brought back from his latest venture. Are you now?
We've got one. You
He
can have.
went across the lake, exploring the woods to the west to get here. Bag full of odd ones, this is probably safe, but they don't look edible to me. I'd have brought one to identify if he's hoarding these things. I'm going to toss them. Okay, I'll come back tomorrow. Okay, so
West of
another...
Undermere.
So where we are. So woods west of Undermere across the lake. In fact, let's put that over here. So then when we pull this up, we can just go back here and take it. So
There's
Undermere's where our shop is. Undermere's right here.
West across the lake.
Well,
So
what
right-
was that? Let me just move this that way. Woods across the lake.
West. That one over.
So right here then. Yes? Because these are
Yeah,
woods.
Yep.
Yep. Here you go. So more mushrooms. Yeah, we have tons of these. Okay. Alright, we're going pretty well as far as this. Alright, here's the librarian, Simone Green. Well, Fremont told me information on the servant. Thank you. Looking over the library, but all I discovered is a mold problem. Maybe some sweet breath to clear it up. Wait, hold on. You say sweet breath, but let's take a look. You're not calling it that. Let's take a look at what we got here. So it said Weasel of Neptune, which is... Do we have that in the book? Yes, we do. Also called Truthsayer.
One of the other customers told you to give the librarian something else.
Right, she says she's a liar, basically.
Oh.
So you could follow the instruction, which is presumably going to poison
The librarian.
the librarian.
Or, fine.
Elixir.
This is sweet breath, so it's Palliance as well. Okay, so Inhuretnakht, your choice. Which one are we giving her? Do we want to give her the Palliance or do we want to give her the Weasel of Neptune? It's your choice.
Where is sweet breath?
It is right here. This is it.
Sweet breath.
She just called it something. She called it that. That's what it's also known as, but this is how it's known.
Let's
in
be
the book.
bad.
You want to give her this?
Let's do the bad thing.
The Lyle of Neptune.
Is that the bad thing, or maybe that's the good thing? Because
The bad
remember,
thing was to give her the...
That's a truth sayer.
The bad thing was to give her what the other person said, which is some elixir, right?
Right. Oh, right.
well, hold on. Is that right? Let's look back at that because, okay, this was
Someone who visited said, when the librarian comes, you should give her something, not what she asks for.
right.
But that might not have been recorded because it was just a conversation with a customer.
So could it be a chat? Could we go back to the chat? Could we see one of the people and see what they said?
Yeah, although fine, it would have to be one of those plants because you were telling me elixir, so it's like it technically is not a
Well,
elixir.
I can't
so
remember.
we
I
did.
can't remember. So who came today?
Let's see. Feasibly somebody who came. It's.
No, not her.
I'm afraid the camphor's giving
She
me.
didn't come today though. She didn't.
Yeah, no, she
Oh,
did
you
come
did.
today.
Okay. Oh, instead of when your library visits tomorrow, give her this instead of the Palliance that you will ask for. She knows something that she's not telling you.
So basically, the idea is she's saying that she was the psychic, she was able to read it. So in that case, then Inhuretnakht, you're saying you want to give her this, right?
Yeah.
No, but
She said give her worry list, didn't she?
what was the thing that she gave you?
She said she wants the Palliance.
No, the person who said...
She said worry list. It was worry list plant.
No, she said this. Let me
yeah.
show you again.
Okay. We got to read up though, I think.
Yeah. Right
I'm
here.
wondering if you have some worry list to keep my over anxious thoughts at bay.
But that was
Give
before.
her this instead of the Palliance
And
she
she
will
gave
ask
you
for.
a plant at that stage.
So
So what plant did
what
she
did
give
she
you?
give us?
It doesn't matter because look at this. She's saying give her this instead of the Palliance she's asking for. She's here now. She's asking for the Palliance. This was yesterday.
So just give her the other one. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We'll give her that. Cool.
Maybe I'm missing something. But
You
sure
are, yeah. You are. Because what's going on is that she said, when your librarian friend visits tomorrow, that's who Simone Green is, she's going to ask for Palliance. She came in, she asked for that. She called it by a different name, but that's what she asked for. But give her this instead. She gave us that plant. She must have given us this, we just didn't identify
all
it.
right.
I don't know if she did give us that because That's my question. How
Well,
would
we don't know.
How
We
would
don't
be able
know.
to go check?
We'll have to look at the closer inspection.
Oh,
We
I
have to
see.
look at the book
Do we
and
know
we have
where
to
it is?
identify
I
it.
just want to know which one it was that she gave us.
Yeah. Well,
That's unfortunately not something that you can easily
Yeah.
ascertain. She just gives you a plant and
I
then
don't see
it's
that
not
plant.
identified.
do you see it? The sparsely petaled flowers give off the sparsely petaled pale flowers give off a strong scent.
Okay, let me move this out of the
Sparsely
way.
paled. They don't. Oh, now wait a minute. See that
Uh-huh.
one that has a little to the right?
This?
No, the next one. Well, that one could be the sparsely. Yeah, no.
Heart-shaped leaves. Is
No,
that what
it's
this
not.
is?
No, it's not it.
No.
I don't think so. No. Huh.
Yeah, we'll see if we can give her this if we have it. If we don't have it, we can't give her that. We'll have to give her what she's
Right.
asking for. But we'll
I
see.
don't see that thing. I saw something with that funky thing.
The flowers are blue. Okay, that's pretty simple, but that's not.
Sparsely
exact-
petaled pale flowers. They'll
There's
pale.
not a way to see what sequence you got the things in.
Yeah, no.
No.
Sparsely pale
Deep blue.
No, they're pale.
I mean, either way, we're gonna have to identify something because we don't have either one of these.
Okay.
Well, I guess if we don't have a way of knowing, then maybe we'll just give her what she
Give her
asked
what she
for.
asked for.
If we have to find that one
Now,
too.
what's that one? You see that? No, it's got those kind of petals. No. Interesting.
Okay, I thought that was something you do that.
No, it's not that one. It can't be that. It's not that one.
Well, let me look at this.
Yeah, I know that little thing sticking up, but it doesn't have the same kind of leaves sticking down, though. That's the thing.
See, the source of acerbic odor. Let's see.
Sparsely
Give a
petaled.
strong scent. Sparsely pale flowers.
Yeah,
Was just smooth underneath.
I think we don't have it.
Okay. So in that case, I guess we might have to give her that.
Yeah, we'll give her what we know. What we know, we have pallium.
So let's see if we can find this. Sometimes called sweet breath thanks to the freshness of the air in its vicinity. May short leaves are help to filter toxins through the air. So now we have to find where those leaves are. I don't know if that's exactly the right leaves. Unless...
Sweet breath to the freshness of the air. It has a fresh aroma. Pleasant, fresh aroma.
So that is a possibility. Could
Yep,
be this.
that's
feasibly.
Yep. I don't
Let's-
see any other ones with those kind of leaves,
Except that one.
except that one, the yellowy one.
Left.
Held
Oh.
it. That one. Somewhat pungent.
Those look more like the leaves though in the picture.
They
That's the other
do.
thing about it too.
This makes it, I thought, to help filter from the air. It's sometimes called sweet breath, freshness, but that's pungent.
Uh-huh.
The other one said it was sweet. We didn't buy sweet breath already?
No, we have not. It would be a check mark if we
Oh,
did.
okay. So it's between that one and that other one. But you're right about the wait a minute, the leaves. Now, wait a minute. No, those leaves are a little bit pointy. These are a little bit too round.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Let's try I don't know why I want to say that purple one we had there. What's that?
Those are not quite that.
No.
Because also the other thing to keep in mind is that, yeah, there's like the little vein there
Pointy.
specifically for that. But that's kind of what this game is. You basically kind of look around to see what you can find. These aren't that specifically. So, all right,
I
fine.
go to the sweet one.
Okay, we want to try that then, which is going to be not this, but this.
Let's see what people agree or not. I don't know. They're too thick. Are they too thick?
Oh.
It has a pleasant, fresh aroma.
So, okay, we're going on the aroma, yes, and you can do that. So it's either that one or this one. In fact, so much
Common
so. we
called
moved
sweet
over
breath.
here. Freshness of the air in its vicinity. That's not necessarily talking about the plant itself, though. Or maybe there's some aura it's giving off. Somewhat pungent. Let's see. Hang on. Many short leaves are thought to help filter toxins from the surrounding air. Yeah, I mean, maybe it is this one because it is pleasant and fresh. We can try that.
They look a little thick. They look a little thick. Those. Can we look at those leaves again?
Which one?
The purple flower. That one.
Okay.
I vote for the yellow one.
Yeah, those look too close together.
Okay.
Somehow I think it's those two.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's try. No, it's not. Okay, that wasn't either one. Okay, well, at least we got to show what happens when it's either one. So that's neither. So it's not that one.
Can you try another one?
We can try this one.
I'll try it, but it doesn't look like it's the one either.
Yeah, it is. It's the Palliance. Okay, so that's the one she
And
wanted.
these don't look as...
Okay,
Alright.
so that was this one. Look.
That was a rough one. Not for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, so there we go. We did get that.
Ding.
Alright, so
who's
what do
this
you
person?
say? Someone who's going to be going to a wedding in a couple of days, so it seems. Got some Trimble Huff and saving the trouble going out to find some myself.
We don't have that.
Well, let's see.
There it
We have
is.
an entry at least. If you knew, though, she's not worth the
Cross-section of
trouble.
the small cup-like flowers.
Yep, gently point
That's a
downwards to
cross
avoid.
section. Okay, we've got that thing. They hang downward.
Okay,
It's either the one
maybe this
to
one.
the right. Mm. Small couple. I was gonna say. Yeah, that could be.
Or which one were you gonna say
I was
then?
gonna say to the right more, all the way to the right. By the elixir. By the elixir. Right next to the elixir. No, the other elixir. More to the right.
But these are all things you've identified.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so it can't be that. Okay, gotcha. All right.
And remember, they're all berries right there.
Let's see. No, falling down, because that one is the only one. I can't see any hanging down.
It might be that one then.
Is it? Do we
That's all we've got.
necessarily have it?
No, as I said, we might have it. We've basically done every single
Alright.
clue that's gone. So I think it is
Probably
this one.
have it. Okay.
I think it is this one. There's nothing else that kind of goes to that,
Okay.
honestly. So I think we're gonna have to take a look
Yeah.
because it is showing the idea that it's
Doesn't
kind
have
of going downwards. It has that little thing
Doesn't
in the
have
middle.
that long thing though. It's not.
It sort of
long,
does,
is it?
but that's the best we can do right now,
All
unless
right.
there's
I
something
guess we
else.
could try it.
Unless you want to take a look at something else.
No,
We can-
no. Let's try it. You're right.
Well, no, I'm saying
Sure.
what I'm saying is that we can still take a look at a lot of these.
Sounds like we should try it.
Yeah, I'll go for it. Go
Okay.
for it. It's the only one that hangs down, looks like a cup.
It's not. Okay. Which is fine. If we show Rise and Dread, it's fine because then we can come back from that.
Yeah, I think we don't have it. No,
Okay, I just want to see what that was.
I don't think we have it. So,
What's just next to that one?
This.
Left? What's that?
Oops, sorry.
small cup-like flowers. Oh, wait a minute.
You think it's that?
Well, look at them. They're
Blue.
Look
I
at
mean, maybe that's a sign as far as white would be a sign of wedding.
hanging down. They've got this long. They've got a longer, thin thing at the
Something
end.
borrowed,
That-
something blue.
Yeah, try that. That might
Okay,
work.
let's try
that
it.
might work.
That's it.
Yay! Well done.
And that's the end of the day.
All right.
Alright, so
Hurrah.
let's put a thing on Trimble Huff.
Can it just automatically make it for you?
Yes, but I decided not to turn it on.
What it does, it will just.
It'll automatically label it.
Oh,
But I said,
Nice.
for the purpose of this, I said, no, we're not playing it that way.
well, you type quickly, so it's fine.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. So now what?
Now we still have, okay, we figured that out. So we put that into the archive. You don't have to, you can keep it in letters still. We didn't put this together, we haven't been asked for it yet. We got this, but we don't know what we're doing on the Woken Dendru quite yet.
Right, let's see.
So we should go to the next day and get
Yeah,
more
you have to
clues.
go to the next day.
Yeah, because we're actually almost near the end. And get another card.
Ooh.
So yeah, 8
8
miles to the east of that, and I think I know what we're doing on this one. Okay, so the shepherd watches, prepared the leaves and roots she would acquire, watching as the hours drag by, sunset, work by candlelight, sitting still, time's moving, dancing among the stones. Change happened suddenly but subtly. So the watcher's not sure anything had happened, but then he saw it.
Miles to the east of that tree.
Yeah, and I know where that tree is because we have to use that viewfinder thing.
Wheel of
It's on the
Fortune?
map. No, the other thing.
Oh, the other thing. Oh, that thing.
That thing, because it showed where the tree was. In fact, I will
Okay.
show that right now. And the weather changed, so it was raining. So yeah, let me show you. So there's this. There's 8 miles to the east. Let me get this out. So
Oh,
there's the
there's
great
the-
oak, but then again, the question is it to that or not, because also there's Tomb of the Hunter. I'm also looking for a symbol, see if there's anything else for that. Down there is something they basically said, hey, this is where this is. We already did that. That is, just show it. DollyFinn, which we got last time.
And a grid square is indeed 1 mile.
Yes,
so
it is.
So we want
So 8 miles to the east. If it is there, we can try 8 miles from N9. So it's 8 miles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's on the water. I don't know, but let's give it a shot. Okay, it's not there. But that's fine. We have an idea of what we're
8
doing down.
miles to the east.
Alright, so hi Thor done. What do you got? He went and ate those bloody mushrooms that you gave, and now he's sick.
Uh-oh.
Okay? Can we do anything about it? He's in a bad way and I'm worried. Okay. So, yeah, in some cases we showed last time, they will not tell you what they want, but they'll give a little bit of description. So he's saying he's sick.
Can you give him an elixir?
You can give him an elixir, but the other thing also is that
Certain
you
plants,
also want to take a look at the plants because they will have certain healing properties.
mushrooms. Oh, that the gills and this and mushrooms.
Stomach pains, he's sick. Whether that means that's it or not, that's a possibility.
Cure for skin rashes. No.
Hypothermia.
Skin rashes. Okay,
Yes.
so it's not that one.
Shielding against afflictions of the mind.
Nope.
Finding peace when you're dead. Unknown, it says here, maybe applications in dark magic.
No, not that one.
That is opening the lock. Let's see.
strain.
Eye strain.
Rejuvenation effect.
Grant
Courage.
courage. Here we go. Let's see. Strengthen
Sharpen
resolve
the
and sharpen
mind.
the mind. That's not that. Devil's Nightcap.
Fevers and poisons.
He's not.
Creates a tonic against fevers and poison. So he thinks he might have gotten poisoned by those mushrooms.
Okay.
So it might be Devil's Nightcap, so we can remember that.
Okay. We take a look at that.
I'll remember that. Devil's Nightcap.
Dranthium is basically their take on marijuana, as mentioned last week. DollyFinn is Gender's miasma antidote.
Devil. Not that one.
Let's see. Protective properties,
No,
stimulating senses,
no.
improving eyesight. Okay, let's see. Strength for short periods of
No.
times, energy boosts, sleeping, contract
No.
friendship,
Digestive
troubles when prepared correctly. He's sick. Gilded Dendro will kill him, so we can't give her that. Let's see. Dental hygiene. Wait, some do for dental hygiene. Okay. Short-term memory loss.
Amnesia.
I think it might be what you're saying, but we'll go through the whole book just to make sure.
No.
Deterioration of old age. Deterioration of mind. What was that one? Okay, that one doesn't say anything as far as... Fine, it's a defense mechanism on the plant itself, so it doesn't say anything for that.
Mental curing afflictions of the heart. Nope, not those
Mental
two.
faculties. Lifting curses. Tell the
No.
truth, which we couldn't find, so you know that one, what it does. Wandering of mind.
No.
It might be that one, but said we're going to go through everything just so we can get it out of the way. Taking out predators. Wait, hold on, what's it say there?
No.
Pass unnoticed. Okay, it's the stealth thing.
No.
Confidence. Gas of distress and anxiety, but
No.
he's sick. It's just kind
Yep.
of general. Palliance, it's not that. Okay, no, it's not Ren.
What about
Yeah.
Stimpy?
No, not in this game. Also, there's Dark Story. We're going to have to go into that when we play one of those
Yep.
games just to go into that. I think she knows what I'm talking about. But anyway, Royal Gentia is...
Well, sounds like we have a good guess then.
Devil's Nightmare. That's
Yeah.
for poison, but do we think he had got poisoned?
That makes sense. You're saying like he ate the mushrooms, so maybe
Yeah,
he
so he
ate the
got
wrong
sick.
one.
Poison mushrooms.
I'm just seeing specifically what else it is, because that's sometimes what you want to do is you want to,
Yeah.
indicate it specifically.
Hearing. Highly poisonous.
Don't give him that one. If we want to kill him again, we can give him that one. Unwanted souls.
No.
Insect bites.
No.
One review. Yeah, I think it's that one. It's not which is big and worthless.
Okay.
Okay, so it's that one. So let's go back to the table of contents. You do have a shortcut of that there. So in that case,
Devil's
we take the
Nightcap?
Devil's Nightcap. We have to find out
Let's
where it
look
is
at
though,
it.
because we didn't indicate it. So for Devil's Nightcap,
Wait a minute.
light scent, not dissimilar to pine needles, boiling in vinegar creates a tonic against fevers and poisons. Okay, so let's see. Let's see.
There's a light. What is it? A light.
Light pleasant scent. Those is basically the thing we're going to do is we're just going to drag everything out to a closer inspection. I don't think it's that one. I think we want to try and find that eventually, as I mentioned, because
How about that other skinny purple one, straight to the right, two to the right?
this one,
Yeah.
dark purple. I don't know.
Just the yeah. All right.
Basically, I think it's just a case where we're going to check everything.
It's got those
pretty much.
long, spindly things. They're the ones with the long.
Small, delicate leaves.
Yeah,
Not the
that-
mushrooms.
No, it's not
This
that.
is. I just want to look at the leaves just to get
Yeah.
a sense of that.
No. How about the next one has long leaves.
This one, okay.
Cerebric odor. The leaves feel smooth. Pleasant scent.
It's like pleasant, so it's
Boiling the root in vinegar. Oh, you got it. Nope.
It's-
Okay,
so it's not that.
Okay, so. Do 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 do. Nope, not that one. Nope. Not the other.
Overpowering sickly sweep is not
No, the
overpowering.
leaf doesn't look the same.
The leaf doesn't look the same as overpowering. It's not that for the
No,
leaf,
it's
but
not. Do we have any more?
what did it say? Gentle scents.
Do we have any other? Oh, we have more. Okay.
Sort of.
What about the one that's long leaves there?
I'm just moving this out of the
Okay.
way.
How about that next one there?
This.
No.
Story.
Too round. Too
Flat, it's not that one.
flat.
What, this one?
Oh.
Aroma is sharp and citric. It's not that only because they said it's light and
Right.
pleasant, so it's not that.
Okay, so what about the one to the? What about that one?
This one? Let's see.
Yeah,
Rather unpleasant.
and
It's light and pleasant, so it's
light
not this. That knocks that out right away.
Oh my gosh, this is a hard one.
Very strong aroma. It's not strong.
And it's seedy too, and that's not.
Well,
so it's
they
pine.
said like if you eat the seed, you're gonna die, but that's
So
not
it's pine.
exactly
What
it.
is
That's
that?
light.
What the heck?
It's a mushroom.
This is crazy.
I said
We're
just
not-
have some patience. Let's take a look at all these just to see. So you're fine. You said this at the beginning of the show for a reason. And now you're proving
Yeah.
your point, which is that this is a game that requires patience. This is a game that you need to be in that mindset on. Specifically, soft pale blue flowers.
And we know that we might.
The only possibility is if it's on that, if it's something that we can get from that card, and then in that case, we would need to go get it. That's the only question as far as what it is.
What did the card say?
The card was the one that said 8 miles to the east of whatever this was, which wasn't the Great Ogre. Couldn't have
No.
been because we went 8 miles east and nothing came of it.
What about that?
That's a sweet scent. That's light and pleasant.
Who's that?
I don't. Yeah, that's not pointy enough as far as the leaves are concerned, though. That's somewhat pungent, but the leaves are not correct. This one is acerbic as far as the odor, so it's not that one. Although, fine. Here's the other thing: is that she said, "I don't know what it is. It could feasibly be something we already have."
Right. Okay.
But if it's not the Devil's Nightcap, but we're looking for the Devil's Nightcap, and if we had it, it would be checked off. So we have Duranthium where there, where's the check mark?
right.
We'd already have it. So in that case, that's the question. Or we can take a look at the card again, see if we can find something on the card.
Now we have something for sick stomach.
We
We do.
I
Mm-hmm.
So do we want to take a look at those?
Yeah, let's see that.
All right. So which one was it? Sleeping, talking to strangers.
Digestive trouble, candy
Candy
root.
root. We want to take a look at that. Okay, let's find where candy root is. This is something we've identified. I'm just gonna go scroll through until I find it.
We have already.
Favorite Kiss, Candlewood, Jacobsworth, Lady Summer, Wren, Common Trouse, Bruce Fig, Brimlock, Mary's Breath, Foxbutton,
Given it before, is that bad?
No, because she doesn't know what she wants. It says question mark, so it could be something we gave her already. We give somebody already.
That
or
helps
not.
for stomachs. She's not saying how sick he is.
Well, let's try it. It's digestive troubles. Let's see if that's it. Nope, it's not it. So
it's got to be the devil's nightcap.
Well,
because that's poison. Because we might have given him poison mushroom.
Oh, and he was stupid enough to eat it. That's his
right.
own fault. But either way,
So we have
let's
to go
see.
back to that map and look for that other thing. Is that what we're saying?
Maybe. I mean, as I said, if we don't have it somewhere else, then yes, we do.
Is that
need to do
tree? Is that tree on that? Is there a tree or a symbol on that wheel at all?
Let's look.
A symbol that's on that tree on the wheel. No? Is there a tree on there?
No,
No.
it's not there.
Okay. What about that other?
Now let's take another look at the world to
Map?
explore, just because. Look at the
Yeah.
map.
And what's that thing said? It said 8
8 miles to the east.
Now wait a minute. That tree.
This tree.
Yeah, it's not the great oak. It doesn't look like the great
Well,
oak.
unless fine, that's where X is marking the spot. Unless it's right here, but I doubt it's right there. In which case, it would be
No.
just because I want to get a sense of this. If that's M8,
Let's look for the-
let me just look at this quickly. There's M8. That would take us right to town, so it can't be that. The other possibility could be the Tomb of the Hunter, but I don't know why it would be the Tomb of the Hunter if that's at B14. Let's just take a look at that.
Grasmere is where you can get the best gingerbread.
Oh, really?
Really?
It's also where William Wordsworth is buried.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Since I have no idea of what else to try, I was gonna go 8 miles east of that just to see, but it's nothing, so that's fine. But we didn't get.
We still did.
We didn't.
Oh,
What?
wait a minute.
Yeah, keep everyone to think. I'm gonna look back in the book just to see of something else that's at
Devils.
sickness before we look at that again.
Oh, that devil's thing is.
Yeah, but
What?
what were you thinking outside of that?
I was thinking because it was for poison. Poison is as poison does. You know, that's the poison thing. I think the poisonness of that is. Tuffman said that was Fennec too. Chewing the root of said to ease gastric distress
And reduce anxiety.
Well,
So
we
could
could give
be
her
that.
some Fennec. We could give her some Fennec.
Let's give it a shot. Let's see what
I
it
think
says.
did we pass it already?
I don't know.
Back one. I thought it was back.
There it is, right there.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see.
mean-
Maybe this will help. Nope, it's not. So.
It's got to be that one for the. It's got to be the one for the poison because we gave him a poison mushroom. So got to be that one. All right, we gave him a poison mushroom.
I
So
see.
the Devil's Lair. The Devil's. We have to say that it's probably.
Or I don't know. Do we want to show losing our minds again? Because we haven't actually shown that this entire play,
No, I know.
and it's not a game over. It's basically we just have to put the pieces of our mind back together. Sometimes quite literally. So if we want to give it a shot, if we think there's something else, it could be in regards to something. We can try and figure out what that is
Oh, I think
and give it off. So let's take another look at this, which is
Lens
that,
known as Corpse's Friend. Now wait a minute. Corpse's Friend.
right.
If ingested as a seed, will cause slow agonies, death, and will grow out of the body once deceased. It has a light, pleasant scent, not dissimilar to pine needle. Boiling liver gives a tonic against fevers and poison. Very. That's
Anise- what's
anise seed. That's anisette. You know, like anise. That's very different, licoricey.
Okay.
So that's not pine needly. So that's
So
not.
look for pine needles then, or something that looks
No,
like it.
but it says a light, pleasant, not dissimilar. So a pleasant scent and funky leaves like that. A nice scent.
There's heart-shaped leaves. There's this that's
Eh?
unpleasant.
Unpleasant. Okay. No, they're too
Pale
rounded.
blue.
Doesn't have
These
a-
are mushrooms. We'll see. It smells rotten. Is there anything to
What about that? No.
this
It doesn't have the
long
aroma
thin?
is sharp and citric.
Unless that's the
Citric.
idea that you're saying.
Citric. So that's not. That's
Yeah, that's what I was
not-
thinking as well. I was
yeah.
thinking it's not that, but
It's not. Oh yeah.
it's long and flat. They're fruits.
And they're round. No
Like,
good.
it wouldn't smell that way. This smells like honeydew or strawberry and honey. It can't be that.
Light pleasant smell. No, not that
That's
one.
somewhat pungent, but I don't know if that looks like a pine needle look.
No, and the leaves don't look very good. The next leaves kind of look like it. It's a wacky looking thing, but no,
The stamen underneath is a source
No,
of
they've got-
acerbic odor.
because they've acerbic odor. Stamen underneath. Wait a minute. Boiling the root in vinegar. In vinegar creates a tonic because it says acerbic. Okay, no. Okay. Let's go. How about that purpley one?
Yes, let's see.
Yeah, that one.
Not giving us much to
No.
go on, but
Huh.
fine. This is not it. This is
Where's
a red
it?
caps with spongy texture.
We're stumped.
Not yet, we're not. Let's see.
No, we're
Well,
Hey,
quite hard.
I wonder.
What?
Sheep's thing.
Yeah.
Sheep's what?
I don't remember, but in the book there's something called sheep's something or other, and the spheres you found just there seem to me to be that.
Sheep snap?
Good fortune.
I think the balls you just saw are called sheep snap, which
Yes,
is
one.
irrelevant, but
Yeah.
I do think that might be sheep
Yeah.
snap.
Let's at least mark it because it sounds like you're pretty sure, and honestly,
Well,
I'd
I don't
agree
know.
with
It does say hard
I
outer
agree.
shell.
Yeah.
We can always have this so they come in later say, I want sheep snap. We'll know.
And we're sure we didn't do devil before.
It would be marked with a check mark.
Oh
if
right.
we did.
Okay, that's right. I keep forgetting that. All right. So, anybody else next to the other mushroom to the left?
There's this.
No. Bunnies.
Overpowering, and the leaves
Sickly
are too
sweet.
sickly sweet, and the oh no, I don't want to give her this. I hit X, and I guess it goes right to her hand. I did not know
Sickly
that.
sweet. There's not really.
I'm just looking at everything. Red words protrude from the caps. It's a mushroom, so it wouldn't be that.
Everything at top we really did.
Yeah, unless we want to look at that again and see if something else. Small leaves, delicate flowers. I don't think it's that. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's not
Right,
that.
we know we didn't. What about the purple one at the end?
Well, okay, fine. Smells like sweet rhubarb. So fine.
Let's go back. Can we look at Devil's thing again so we can just look at the leaves? The
Sure.
leaves are supposed to have some veins on them. I think that's what I'm worried about here. Right? You see, normally it shows the kind of veins it's supposed to have, doesn't it?
Sometimes it does.
All right. Sweet, pleasant. Rhubarb isn't pine needles though, so we gotta crumb bunnies.
So maybe it is something we already have. Maybe that's not it. Maybe we just have to look at everything else we've got. So I think that might be where we're at.
Why, you mean we think we made a mistake labeling somebody?
No, not necessarily, because remember, question mark means she doesn't know what she wants. She said like, hey, what can we do to handle
look at
being
the
sick? But is there anything we have we've identified? Because we did try that
we tried
before.
Fennec, we tried Wren.
We didn't try
we
Wren,
didn't try.
no.
We find Fennec and one other one, two of them.
But I don't know if Ren is.
No.
Yeah, it's a scent that scratches the back of my throat, so it's not
we
that.
tried Fennec.
Lady of Summer, Jacob's Worth, Candlewood, Fever Kiss, Mellow Glow, Hop Heart, Wild Call.
Can you do hint? Do a hint.
Yeah, good idea. Let's do a hint. Take guided poison mushrooms around here. Did I leave it in the laboratory? Okay, good question. Let's see if we left it over there.
Guide to poison smell. Oh,
Back, here we go.
antidotes! Yay!
So let's see. So what'd she say? She said,
Do you remember what we gave to her before? No. Often fatal.
we didn't give her any of these.
We didn't. No, we didn't.
But cure by taking hop heart boiled in vinegar, not fatal in small doses. Sunset Mountain Cap. Actually, here's the other thing. I think I know what maybe is going on here, which is that this is the hint we gave. They said, hey, look here, there might be something as far as an antidote. Let's look at what because she doesn't say which one she ate, or he ate. He ate those bloody mushrooms, but remember, he's like a connoisseur of mushrooms.
So
we don't know which one he ate.
We have to look at the mushrooms.
Look at the mushrooms, see what do they do. Because they say, like, hey, what do these mushrooms do when it comes to something dangerous? So let's see. Unless this is also Bishop's Parasol, but this also gives a sense of
Often fatal can be remedied. Now, wait a minute, it doesn't say. Look, it says mushrooms found in dark damp that underside can be assumed to treat for stomach pain, but yet it says often fatal can be remedied using sap from lemon dandy. But it's not saying it's fatal in Bishop's Parasol there.
Right. Like it's the idea that, hey, he ate this, what happens if you eat it? So if you eat Bishop's Parasol, it's often fatal to
Give him lemon dandy.
But it says they're the fluid with it can be used for stomach pains.
But it doesn't say and often fatal.
Well, fine, let's take a look at all the ones that are on that list then.
Generally not fatal in small doses. Use crushed leaves from so wait a minute, he's not dead.
He's not dead, no.
So then look, often fatal, maybe generally not fatal in small doses. Use crushed leaves from sour bandy to cure.
Sunset Mount Cap, you think that's what he ate?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at that then.
Because he's not dead.
Yep. Alright, so you said sour brandy cure if it's the Sunset Mount Cap.
Right.
So here we go. Mildly toxic shouldn't be eaten, so that's what he ate. So he ate this.
Okay, so
you're right.
So now we give him
Crushed leaf and sour brandy, which we didn't indicate. Okay, we didn't get this.
Sour bandy.
So it's this. Okay, so help with memory recovery even though it's been sabotaged. But as I said, since this is the idea, like when it comes to mushrooms, what's the antidote
Sour
for
bandy.
it?
So let's look at
Crushed leaves and sour bandy.
It's
So let's
that
find
tall. That.
So what are we looking at here?
This thing we can look at. Sour bandy.
Or spring wax calcicinates. Okay, this is edible with mild medicinal properties. Dry eating can help relieve pain. So you probably didn't eat that because otherwise you would have gotten sick.
We said he's not Sunset Mount Cap.
That's what we think, yes.
So we're looking for sour bandy. So let's look at
Okay, let's see. What are we seeing here on sour bandy?
is that let's go to the green thing. The
This?
green weird looking thing. Yeah, let's just look at that. It says.
Gives off a small
Okay,
amount
no.
of light.
Okay, how about the one to the left? Or keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Stop. What's that? What's that gonna look like?
Smells rotten.
No. Alright, how about the one alright?
The large stamen is bitter to the taste. Okay, I think I know which one that is. It's this
The one that smells rotten is the one
Bitter.
they ate.
Cervic. Yeah.
I think that's it.
Edible. The stamen is extremely bitter to the taste.
Large stamen is the source of the odor. And cervic, that can be indicated as bitter too, yes?
Yes, hold that one. Hold that thought.
Okay.
I think it is.
I think you're right.
Uh-huh.
I think the mushroom that said it stinks is actually the one he ingested.
Right.
Give him this. Give him this. Give him the sour bandy.
Give him
Try
this,
try
assuming
that.
this is it. Let's see. It's not, but good news is we get to show how Rise and Dread works.
Oh no!
So what happens when you get Rise and Dread increased? Yeah, your mind snaps. So you ever played Eternal Darkness on the GameCube? This might look a little familiar because that game is Insanity Effects, but in this case,
Holy smokes!
you have to put the pieces of the puzzle together. And you do have to match it. It does not shatter in the same position as what it looked like. Just to give an indication, because we did show this actually for the puzzle showcase. What you gotta do, you gotta mix these up to match them with where the pictures are. And then when they go to it, they'll click in place. Like that.
Click.
Like I think it clicked. But if it did click, it just to give an idea, is that if it does click, it will do a snap.
Yeah.
But just to give an idea of that. So, and you can feasibly start from any one you want. You put that there and you say like, hey, there's two lines there.
Yep.
So you can take a look and try this. There you go.
There
You
you
got
go.
that,
Snippy
that means
snap.
that that's it. Okay, that's unfortunately not it. So, but it's also worth pointing out there's more than one of these that can happen when you have your Rising Dread drained completely. Because you can have other games. Actually, the other one, we'll see if we can show this, because this is technically your game over, but it's not game over exactly, because basically it's your way of saying, like, hey, you know what, I can get myself back into place for this. I think the next one's going to be this. Or if it's not, it's going to be over here. Actually, this might connect to... It's not going to connect to that one. Actually, that might connect with this one. Yeah, because this is what happens when this goes. So I'm glad we got to show this. Like, there's that. That's not flat enough. Let's see.
That one? It's got lots of pieces on it. Yeah.
This might go somewhere else. I think it goes right here. Then for that.
Holy smokes.
Actually, yeah, it is harder to do this than you'd think. Although you don't have a time
is.
limit. It's not a case where, hey, you know, you don't do this in time, that's a game over. And if it was, this game auto saves all over the place.
Far
so
right goes in the bottom piece.
Which one?
That one goes down.
Down here.
No, I'm wrong.
Wowee. I'm telling you. Yeah, that goes to the right. No, I was gonna move that little piece you put in would end the circle. See that piece you put in? That
Yeah,
one?
right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. So where is, I think, yeah. Oh, by the way, it's worth pointing out when you have them completely connected, you can't take them out of the circle, but that's fine. You basically just do a rotation around till you get something. Yeah, it's not quite that. So yeah, this is kind of the most, in its weird way,
Yep,
most
that's it.
traditionally puzzle-ish
Isn't it?
that there isn't. Fine, going back to the Myst thing, you know, Inhuretnakht, you were right, because yeah, remember, Myst has puzzles like this. Exactly like this, but that tends to be the whole game. Actually, I don't know if I ever asked you, did you ever actually beat Myst?
No.
Yeah, neither did I. Oh, maybe we can make history on the show, so like, fine, we beat the game to it, because I mean, even you, DollyFinn, were saying that, damn, this game is hard, and it is insanely hard.
Yeah.
It's a good game, but it's all, well, fine. It's fine. It's one of those games that feasibly, you might say you admire maybe more than you like, only because of the fact that, hey, it's so insanely cryptic.
Yeah.
But it is fine. It was an interesting part of 90s gaming. That's absolutely for sure. And weird enough, yeah, there's not a Switch port there. You think, okay, they ported everything to the Switch, but not that.
Yay.
And that is right. Yeah. And then what you do is just put it all together. There you go. I feel really revived. My mind is whole again.
Hooray.
We showed this actually before we
There's
did.
a hint button to the right. It might be helpful if you get stuck. We hit the hint. It
We
didn't
did,
help
yeah.
us. Let's try again. Maybe it'll give us a new hint.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh.
But we'll see. Because honestly, we have not shown coming back to this. We only have 2 days left, though.
Come on.
We're almost
now.
there.
She come back. Oh, she's gone.
Well, she's gone. Okay,
Good.
here's the thing.
Don't come back.
No, she came back. Because
Oh.
it's worth pointing out that, Inhuretnakht, you were not here for the last part. I can let this go to you. There are random customers that can come in. So I ran into this when I was doing my test, where I said, okay, I ran to a case where my Rising Dread went to nothing, and then I came back. The customer didn't come back. That means it's a random person. But in this case, this is going to the plot, so these cannot be skipped.
What about the hint again? Let's see the hint.
Well, the hint was basically about this. Let's see what she says. Work out which mushroom he ate, which plant work is an antidote. The guide to fatal fungi seems like a good place to start. Okay.
Fatal. Okay, so she
So
says
what do
he's
you eat?
worried
So we're
about
on the
this
right
in a
track.
bad way.
Previous conversation with her contained more details about the mushroom.
Yeah, let's hear about her. Let's go back to what we said with her before
Okay.
when she came.
Let's
the
also
last
take a look
time.
at her bio. Assuming
Her
she has a
chit-chat.
Assuming she has a constant bio, because it's worth pointing out not every character in the game is a constant to the plot, so you will not be able to feasibly see that for everybody. And unfortunately, in the case of her, that is
not
also not the case of that. So unfortunately,
Wrong.
all we got is, well, we're on the right track, because you said, what did he eat?
But can you go and receive the other conversation of hers?
I just said no,
Yeah,
we can't, because she's not on that list.
She's not a
unfortunately.
character that comes.
She's not necessarily important to the plot, exactly. She comes in, she's part of story, but not someone who's a key to this, so unfortunately you can't actually look them
So
over.
should we just look at all the mushrooms and then just like
Yeah,
bring
we're-
wax cap? Let's see
Yeah,
if
we were
got
on the
that.
right track because we
Alright.
said, hey, we're looking at what
We
these
tried
are.
that one. We didn't get sour dandy. So lemon dandy, we didn't.
Sometimes
We have lemon dandy.
we do. We can give her
Why don't you
that.
just give it to her? We have
Why
it.
not?
Let's give it a shot.
That and hop heart because we found hop heart
Yeah.
as well, so we can try all of these. So where is? Okay, so here's hop hearts. We can get rid of that. Okay, let's put hop heart down here just so we'll know. Let's find where lemon dandy is. That was one of the first ones we identified. I remember. Actually, wait, hold on. Okay, no, that was there. I was like, wait, the watering can. St. John's poppy. Lemon
There it
dandy's right here.
All right, so we give her either one of those.
Okay.
Start giving her those, and then we also have royal gentian. We can give her either. We can give her all those.
Let's
three.
find Royal Gentian then. Let's at least have them all
Yeah.
lined up so we have.
There
that's
it
actually
is.
Perfect. Okay.
So let's see. The first one would be not okay. Hop heart, sometimes fatal. All right, give her that one because he's not dead yet.
True. Hop heart. Let's see. Nope.
All right, then.
Lemon dandy.
Yep. Damn.
And
Royal Gentia.
Royal Gentia, and hopefully we can see another Rising Dread game. If nothing else, if this fails. I hit the bell. Oops. Yeah, because if you click the bell goes. At first I was like, wait, no, we got it. Oh, we did get it. Okay, perfect.
Yay.
So it was Royal Gentia. That was what it was. So let's
So what
also,
did he eat?
Farmer's worry.
so let's take a look at that in the book then. So this is how they twist that around. So where is
Up
Farmer's
top.
Worry? Farmer's Worry is right here. So he ate this. Only safe to consume in small quantities, great strength for short periods, and expenses fatigue once the effect is worn off. So, okay, that does make sense. And then Royal Gentia is what we had for the purpose of that. So this is how they're twisting it. It's like, okay, fine, we're not identifying what it is that the flower is so much we're identifying with what is it that he had. So in that case, we got it. Well, not necessarily. I mean, that's the idea that, well, fine, however it was, but okay, good, we got it. Fantastic. So, for the purpose of that, let's take another customer. Yeah, because we're almost at the end, as it is. What are you talking about? Yeah, our dread is next one's gonna be a problem.
But the dread resets after a day.
It resets at the end of the day. Shit, he lost his eye. Forrest Vera fought his eye, yeah, so he got his eye torn out. So you're talking little misfortune as far as that off screen. Yeah, it's kind of getting there, so he has a little eye thing on his element. Or fine, it's like the story I was telling you that Nikki had when we did Spyro the Dragon. It's like, hey, the gorilla chimpanzee who clawed the woman's face. But fine, okay.
They have the
You say
elixir.
Quinn's elixir? I don't think we have that one.
Do you have a recipe for how to make it?
We do. We'll make it then. So he lived. I'm ashamed to say that I'm done. And in order to recover for this and feasibly have his eye there, specifically, we have to get the St. Quintus elixir. This is it. So now we have to start looking at this, and we have to look at the book, see that what can we put together on this.
5-pointed leaf.
We're gonna look in.
You did that
We're
already.
gonna look in the book, though. We are gonna look in the book.
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
found
make
the
sure
five.
that we found it.
The 5-pointed leaf.
That's it.
There it is.
The Butterdale.
It doesn't say courage though, so no.
Keep going. We'll just look at all the 5-pointed leaves first.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do.
No.
Nope. Nope.
No. No. Oh,
Oh.
yes, Daisy Dock.
Daisy Dock.
Yes, that's it.
That's the one.
Yay, Daisy Dock.
Okay, so let's find where Daisy Dock is. I think it was over here. Norwood. Okay, we didn't actually identify this, so let me just move that out of the way. So Daisy Dock was right
There
here.
we go. Good.
So let's
Daisy
go
Dock,
to this.
elixir maker. You're good at that. The next one is a red flower to protect the mind.
So look at the flowers you have and see what the name is and see if you can
Yeah. Eyebright.
eyebright.
Mm-hmm.
See if the eyebright is right.
Yeah, a sec.
That's it.
No. No, it's for eyesight. Where's the other one?
Red flower to protect the mind.
A red flower. Bishop's parasol. No.
That's the thing the guy ate.
St. John's puppy.
Yeah, you want to explain to Inhuretnakht what this is all about?
This is really St. John's poppy, but we decided to call it John's puppy.
It's better than I called on the test play. I'll say that right now.
Right. So we don't think it's that one because
Let's see.
it's
Hearing. So
yeah,
hold
it's
on.
hearing, and we don't want that. So
Protect the mind.
Nope.
What about the other red one?
Which other red one?
Down there, red.
This one? As if we haven't identified it. We can get a sense of it.
Could be right. It's red.
Small, delicate.
But we need to identify it still.
Okay. What about the other red one at the top? The one with the one? Yeah, that one.
Candlewood?
Yeah. Bright red stem.
Let's look at Candlewood. Just give me a sec.
Because I think one of these. I remember one of these. Against
It's
the Mind.
that.
Yep, that was
Candlewood,
it.
that's the
Yoo-hoo.
one.
Okay. All right, and the next one is. What's the other clue?
The other one is
Of
Seed Pod for Luck. I think we might have identified that as it was.
Sheep.
Is that?
Yeah, find that. Snap, is that it? Bring good fortune when prepared correctly for luck.
Yep.
That one. So this is also assuming we identified that correctly. Where is that? We did put it down there. Right
There it
there. So let's give it a shot. Let's see if
Let's
this does
go.
it. We got
What
something,
if we
but
didn't get what if we didn't?
our Rising Dread, fine. We'd probably get a horrible, horrible chemical burn that would be out of something like
Really?
a misfortune, I would assume. I mean, that guy had his eye torn out. We saw the bloody remains of it, sort of, with the eye bandage over his face. In fact, right there.
Okay, so
That's
now,
it.
now we can give it to. Now we have the elixir.
Let's make sure. I guess we'll make sure this is it, which I guess it is. Murky green that smells of spite. All right, let's see. That's it. St. Quentin's elixir.
Now
So,
does he get cured? Oh, he just goes away.
well, fine. He has to go and put that over his eye. I mean, as I said, preview to when we do Walking Dead season 2 because we're going to see that in graphic detail. But that being said, what was this called? Actually, no. Here.
Quentin's elixir.
Actually, before we do that, I want to show one thing because it doesn't necessarily matter. You can get that going. You can basically come back and put it as it is. So we'll put it there.
Let's just put the name on it. Yeah.
What I'm saying is that it's, and to give me a second while I indicate this, that if you quit out of it, it'll basically have that thing up as far as on it. So then you can go back and look and see, like, oh, what was it
Yeah.
named?
Okay. I can barely remember some of them after I've been there.
Uh-huh.
Quentin.
Quentin?
Yeah, Quue. Tin. I think it's or Quentin or Quentin elixir.
it.
I think Quentin's elixir.
Okay, just a second. Wait, let me turn that off.
Yum yum.
Well, assuming he lives, in fact, it was right because otherwise we would have had a Resin Dread go down. We did make it. There we go.
Oh.
We labeled it.
That can be
Put it in the
archived.
Yeah, I'm going to put it in the archive.
Anything we got? We're still working on.
Yes, this.
Oh, that damn thing. What is that?
And then that we want to hold on
Yeah.
to because we can
That is.
feasibly use it. Let's find out. Letter time. All right, so David Schaefer, what do we got? The hateful man I see around town. I think I know where he's going with this one. Oh,
Ooh.
sorry. Oh yeah, that asshole, Isidore Burbage. So I'm bending down to pet a stray dog, but he punched it as hard as he could. So, but misfortune was not off. They do kind of go together. Who knew that they were companion games to each other in their way? Not with the same people, but either way. Someday we'll get his comeuppance. Right. I guess so. Sad Guild Chalice. Okay, we know how this works because of last time. So, where's Sad Guild?
What if there's a secret message?
That I know exactly what it is as far as it, because we've seen this before.
Yeah, we have.
Where is Sad Guild? Right here. And the note said Sad-Gil Chalice.
Yep.
Right at the river spring.
Yippity doodle.
Here we go. Moss-covered rocks line the banks, velvet to the touch, moist conditions. The elegant plant grows abundantly in the lush grass. Alright, so thank you for giving us a plant. So there we go. It looks like a Venus flytrap. I mean, and since we've made...
It does. Little Shop of Horrors.
How many times have you referenced that damn movie on the show? And I said, I don't think there's an official game on this. Even like on Commodore, I still have to look into that. That's actually the case.
We looked, right? We did look.
Yeah, fine. The only case we saw was in a case, I think, there was like a dance game of some sort that's on 360 that runs the Kinect, but because it's licensed content, we can never play it for the show. Unfortunately, because that pisses off the people with music that actually matter.
So we got that thing. That can go in the archive, right?
Yep, there we go. So we got that set, and who's next? Reuben Ward. Okay, so he's the investigator. Bernie Green tells you working on gathering plans for ritual to defeat the creature. Yeah. I want to help any way I can, okay? This might be one of the plans you need to perform it, but I don't know where I can find this. Okay. The note might tell us.
Oh, heart-shaped leaves.
Several names given this plan may give a clue's properties. So this scenario is heart-shaped leaves. Okay, so it's not telling us the location where it might be. I just wanted to get a sense of it. Sometimes.
Is it possible it's on our shelf?
Potentially, but here's a new face, I think. Visit my grandmother in Tebe, and I want to give her favorite plants.
Sweet breath.
Oh, that again. Alright, so we did indicate that. We just need to pull out the book and remind ourselves what that was called. It was what our librarian friend was asking for. That was
what's the other name for it?
Pallies. Okay, so let's find what that is. It's probably on this side because we identified it tonight. Norwood looks at the jam, Hinshook, there's Elixir, Pallies. Here you go. I'm pretty sure he's one of the random customers, but either way we got him.
Now what was the other thing he wanted us to...
Alright, he's the cultist. Yeah, the Dreher Huntsman is still alive. You don't seem to understand the importance of our work here. You're not with us, you're against us. Federation will come, you will regret your actions.
Okay.
Praise the Dendru.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Well, who's to say we haven't necessarily been doing anything weird to that, but fine,
No.
just give us a warning and fine, end of day. Alright. Oh, we're getting close to endgame now. We don't have much more to go.
But if we don't get things, does that mean...
There is a day 17 if we don't get everything, we can get the rest of it. We'll try to do that as much as we can. Behind the woman, a dark skeletal figure began to rise, and a promised snarl sounded across the clearing. Okay, but yeah, he died. Also, it looks like there's two sides of things. Decay gives way to new growth from death life, and the cycle starts again west of White Scar by the river. Alright, we're going to start taking a look at that with the new day.
West of White Scar by the river.
Okay. Day 15. Yeah, we only have 2 days left to go.
West of White Scar by the river.
Okay.
Alright.
So let's give it a shot.
West of White Scar by the river.
White Scar. Wait. Okay, that's it. White Scar right there. Perfect. It's right there.
It's by the river, so west of it. Due west.
The cycle starts again west of it by the river, so that would be by the
There.
river alone. It'd be right here.
Some of the spell fixes one can get a reminder from the chest of the skeleton. A plant grows.
There you go. Hey, you
There was a plant that grows out of someone's dead. I read it in the book.
Okay.
A dead corpse.
Yeah, they're not going to be needing that anymore. Okay, mail first thing today. Thank you. All right. So the people are worried now. They know something's going on.
Okay.
And so I'm getting the Carmen Sandiego vibe out of this. Speaking of Broderbund items, just because, like, yeah, you know, like, the word's out. You're too close now, Gumshoe.
That's right.
I'll picture that when I edit for sure.
Oh, it's true.
Every time a decision to servant, someone needs to do something. Yeah, we got it. Don't worry.
Oh, good.
So they probably want us to explore something. Okay, Amy Duncan is a letter for us.
Arnside.
Being a woman there told me a cave nearby the locals stay away from. There's a huge strange plant that's there.
Somewhere to the east.
Somewhere to the east is all it would say. Alright, let's take a look at where east of
Arnside.
Arnside is. Where is Arnside?
Swinside.
Arnside. Ambleside. Right here. So she said...
A cave. To the east, but she can't tell you where.
Cave is haunted. So let's try and see if we can't find a cave this way.
There's a cave to the east. White Star Cave. Look, Arnstar.
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
White Scar Cave. Right here? Wait,
Yeah.
hold on. That is where we started, isn't it?
Oh, is it? I don't know. What does it say?
Oh, no, that was the... Okay, no, that's where we went. The card was like, go this way. So yeah, east of Arnside, yeah, I think that's it. Alright, you're right. But we have to give him something, so it's Farmer's Worry. We have that. We've given that before. So, at least I think we have.
We do.
Okay, no, we don't. We
We
didn't.
don't.
Okay, so fine. We'll have to, okay, in this case, this will be easy because we have a lot of those mushrooms we've not indicated.
Yay. Now
So-
that doesn't have anything on top.
Yeah, so let's look for some mushrooms that we have.
The red one doesn't have anything on top.
This one, okay, let's see. Spongy texture.
Spongy mushroom.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
this. There we go, fantastic.
Farmer's Worry.
Yeah, I think he's, yeah, somebody's worried.
Yay.
Or the farmer died specifically, so it's like, yeah, he ain't worrying
Alright.
anymore.
Oh, you need an R, farmer. You're so fast at typing.
Yeah, I have to be used to that as far as it specifically.
All right, let's see. Farmer's Worry. It's another plant. Okay. So we've got 2 plants to collect over there?
Yes, let's
Wow.
grab them. Okay, more mushrooms.
More mushrooms.
Yeah, we
Oh
never have too
my
many.
Gosh.
Alright, hi Alden Gregory. My wife of
Uh-oh.
30 years is dying. Okay,
What? What of what though? We need to find out of what she's dying.
let's find out. Nothing to do but sit by and wait for it to happen.
Okay. What's the book?
Man Hospice, let's slip about a plant-based elixir. I don't even know if you're here, but that's all I can think about. If it saves her, I'll pay any price. Oh, it's that one. So fine, we did that earlier, so fine.
We did.
The one that could feasibly kill her, but fine. Let's look back at that since it's been a little time since we did this. Wait, no, it's on one of the notes. Let's look at our archive. It is, where is it? Oh, here it is. Those drunken. So basically, we're giving her soul away. She's gonna live, but at what cost?
Okay.
So yeah, we do have that. We close the archive here and give her that. Or give him the elixir of the damned to give her, which is right here.
There we go.
All right.
He doesn't even say thank
Give
you.
the customers what they want.
That's right.
Much, yeah.
That's right. You what they want. Dingo dingo.
Althena O'Shea. What delightful shop. Thank you.
Shop, yeah. What isn't for a brief visit, but I think I might be able to get some liverstone here.
Liverstone, huh? Let's take a look. Let's look at the table of contents.
I don't think we have that, do we? I don't remember that. Nope.
We don't.
No.
Well, fine. We don't have it identified.
Oh, goody! It's
More
that,
mushrooms.
Yay! It's
But-
that pointy mushroom with the red dots on it, right?
Well, let's see. 'Cause
Pointed caps.
there's a couple that have that. There's this,
That's
which
that
is
one. I like that one.
strong paralyzing agents. This is the case that says it's rotten.
Okay.
That could be.
Looks
it.
like it though, doesn't it? Because the other one doesn't have any.
That's not it because of that.
No.
Remember, we got 2 new ones, so we have to take
Pointy. Oh yeah, there's
we
a
have to take
pointy
this
one.
into
Oh,
account.
there's a pointy pointer.
dark imposing.
Paralyzing, numbed. Yep, that's it. Because my fingertips feel slightly numbed.
Uh-huh. Got it.
Liverstone.
Okay, so let's put that on. Wait, hold on. I thought I pulled the label over.
Liverstone. We've had that one mushroom for a long time and nothing's going.
We also haven't identified the one the Crochet Nerd 64 said is like, what the fuck is this? He literally used those exact words. Like, we want to identify this. We have not. We have to identify that damn thing, and we'll figure out how to do it.
Ding.
All right, so who's next? Oh, you again. This is the
Oh.
Jade masked woman. I can't control it anymore.
Okay.
Control what? It's gone too far, huh? Never meant for it to turn my sisters. Oh, so she was involved in this creature. Too strong. Trying to hold back, but all it wants to do is kill. Death, death, and more death. Help.
Dead man's fingers.
We have that, but let's take a look at what she means on Widow's Woe. What's the better option?
Okay. Said to induce fear. We don't want that.
Induce fear in what? In the
Oh.
creature or in
I don't know.
ourselves?
What's the dead man's fingers?
Let's take a look. Said to strengthen resolve and sharpen the mind, so
Yeah, you have to help me.
we're helping her, so fair enough.
Okay.
See, that's why you also read
Dead
the
man's
context of the
fingers.
clues.
Yeah, that makes sense. Dead man's fingers. There you go.
Or finger singular.
Finger. Yoo-hoo!
so what's Hollis Gibb have to say? Talking last few nights, royal oak of a servant creature going around slaughtering people. So we're talking about the trees. Walking in the hills, but not leaving my house anymore. Then we got glowhorn. I can have that. Okay, let's take a look. Glowhorn.
That's got to be that green glow thing, right? Yes.
Let's see.
Far
Hang on.
luminescent. Yep, it's
Illuminating
that
the trees. Yeah, you're right. It is that one. So finally, we did indicate that one, and you can also see. Kind of hard to see there from just the picture, but yeah, there are little spots. That's what I was like.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I was looking at that, making sure that was it. So glowhorn. Perfect. And yeah, we're going to last day. Okay, so yeah, get ready for last day. So where's glowhorn? Glowhorn is right here.
Is there anything we're missing
For what do you mean missing?
that we haven't done that we need to do?
Well, one of the cards we didn't do,
I know.
but that's fine for now, unless it comes into play here.
It grows
Find the
with-
power she craved, a servant to do she will, but it came at a cost. Servant was awoken and wouldn't be contained with the Dendru, the dread, and death. Okay, so there's the clue.
East of the castle, across the river.
We're gonna do that. First thing we're doing tomorrow is that.
We have to find the castle that's by a river.
Yep, final day, day 16. We already made it.
Woohoo!
So let's take a look at that.
Okay.
East of the castle. Let's also see what castles there are, if there's more than one. I don't think so.
Well, I
but
have Muncaster Castle over there on the left.
there's also Ergamont Castle. Which
Yeah.
is
Does
over
anyone
there.
have a flag at the top though? Because the
Let's see.
Muncaster one doesn't.
Where's Muncaster at? Coordinates.
Left.
Right here.
Yeah. There's
across-
Egremont is up at the top.
I think it's this one only because they're saying Mountain Pass. Let's see. Hang on here.
To the east.
East of the castle, across the river.
No.
Oh, no, it's not that then.
Nope.
Let's see. Is there any other ones aside from Muncaster and?
Yes, your card is covering something.
Yep, says Berg Castle.
Hang on a second.
There it is. Salzburg. Up. Down.
What's the coordinates?
K.
K what?
26.
K 26. Okay. So it's over here then. So let's take a look at the card.
East
Across
of
the river. So there we go. Through the mountain pass. There's the mountain. At the edge of the wood.
the
This
first
edge or
land.
that edge?
I would say the first edge.
Okay. Alright, it's that one. Alright, so we got another one. So, good job. I'll see what that is. Let's bring somebody in. Alright, here's Verona Green. It's been a while. It's time. Servants on the move. It's time to act. Meet me at the ritual site. Okay, hopefully you've been able to track down all the plants you need.
We tracked down a lot of them.
We
sister.
did. Do we also want to try and see if we can't solve this thing?
Yeah, 8 miles to the east. Let's look at
Could
that.
we look at your special? Could we look at your special symbol?
Oh, that you mean that round thing? Oh, that thing?
This?
Your fancy
That
ring.
wheel?
I just wonder whether that's
The ring? That ring?
that thing. Yeah. Does it have any symbols that look like? Move it away?
Not really.
Just
No.
move it away so we can see what that's
Yeah.
a picture of. What's that symbol there?
What's it It's
There's
It's
nothing that's on the
raven,
wheel
thing.
that's like it, unfortunately.
What's the thing that you don't know what it does?
What do you
that
mean?
other wheel. That
The
other
wooden wheel.
wooden wheel.
There's something with a key. We don't have the key, so I'm not sure we can do on
I
that
don't
one.
have the key to that.
We also have this coin, which
Oh, that coin is the thing.
Gosford. Okay, that's
Gosford.
it. Perfect.
Perfect. Okay, we know
So
where
if I
that
eat-
is. Oh, you got a water, right?
That's that, or we can just wait it out because your will to explore will go up very slowly as you go along on its own.
So it's Gosforth. 8 miles to the east of Gosforth.
Perfect. Okay. So wherever Gosforth is,
Up to the
is
left,
right here, 8
right
miles
there.
east.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
E11. That's it. Okay. Here are your flowers I don't recognize growing along the bank. Perfect.
Alright.
So let's also take a look at what else we got as far as notes before we go. That's talking about the Wogendendru. We know that 5 plants are required for the ritual. Which ones they are, we don't know.
Black cone. To
It's
the
near
south.
Blackcomb. That is over. just so you
South
know
of the
map.
Watcher, the Great Oak, and the Desert. Okay, let's open it up.
So there's Blackcomb's over here.
Can we pull up that thing on the front so we can?
Just a sec.
Okay.
As I said, remember, this game is teaching patience. But anyway, let me just move this over here. So let's see. The Great Oak is right here. I just don't have the thing to indicate it, but I can show it now.
Near Blackcomb.
So there it is. There's Blackcomb. It was created near there to the south of the Watcher, which is... Oh, that's the Tomb of the Hunter. The Great Oak was ousted here. We know 5 plants required for it.
Near Blackcomb.
So it's right there. Okay.
To the south of the Watcher.
So that's what we got to go on, and that's the thing with the antidote for the mushrooms, which is not going to be a factor. Okay. Should I give us tons of stuff for this? I guess, do we want to go to Blackcomb then now? Or do we want to go to where the tree is?
Let's try to see. It says Blackcomb to the south of the Watcher. What the heck is that?
So there's the Great Oak, there's Blackcomb, where do we want to go?
I don't, have we looked at the Great Oak at all? The X marks the spot.
Let's take another look at it. We've looked at the idea that that's what it is.
Okay.
So that's that. But we do have we have another thing. Verona, what do you got? We have to act before it's too late.
Okay.
Gather the plants and meet me at the ritual site. Okay, so the ritual site is... Hang on a sec. Wait, it's underneath this.
The ritual site? Does it say where it is?
Let's take a look. Hold on. That's the Tomb of the Hunter. Up here... Fine. That's the stone circle. That feasibly is where the ritual site was going. So fine, let me... Fine, gather
Can
the
we have a
plants and
clue?
meet them.
A hint?
Doesn't the letter tell you something?
Hang on a second. Go to the ritual site and deal with it once and for all.
Oh, that doesn't
The
help.
letter only tells you...
Near Blackcomb, south of the Watcher.
Yeah, that's
Hold on
over
a second,
here.
Just slow down
Oh.
for a second.
Yeah, don't. Ritual site might be down there.
Near Blackcomb,
Comb.
to the south of the Watcher, comma, the Great Oak. So the Great Oak is the Watcher.
Right, that's here.
To the south of that. Where's that?
So it's right there, feasibly.
Where's the can we see the Great Oak again? To the south.
So basically right here.
Try
it is.
there. We could try it.
Okay. So let's take a look right here. Here we go. A small stone shrine sits on the coin. 5 grooves are at the center, and there are 5 slots we can put plants in.
So what plants do they want us to put in?
Good question. So that's going to be our perspective. We also take a hint, we may as well take that. We need to get it open. I think I have a plant that open locks.
Oh, good.
So,
A plant that opens the lock. So that's that lock. So we got to get that thing out.
okay, so we
Oh,
did...
the plant just has to match that. The plant's leaves have to match that on that wooden thing, the wooden lock. That's
This?
what they're talking about, the wooden lock.
This?
Yeah, they're not put it on there, put it here, but we need to open that up. I think that's what it said. We have to find a plant that matches that.
Okay. So we did find what does the unlock. I just don't remember which one it is.
But I think it sure looks like you're trying to find a flower whose silhouette matches
That
the...
silhouette matches that.
But there's also one we identified explicitly that says, hey, this actually breaks locks.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we used it last week.
So does it look like that?
I think, but let's take a look.
I'm gonna look up top and see if I see one that looks like that. It's got
Okay.
5, 1, 2. That's not it. That's not it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But that's not. It's not pointy. 1, 2, 3. It's not any of those on
It's
the
definitely not that
screen.
one left.
It's none of the ones that I can actually see on the screen right now.
Maybe the screen is a good place to look.
Yeah, quickly
'cause
get
You
identified.
can quickly rule some out.
So I see none of those have the 5 pointy. There's 5 but not pointy. Maybe go to the right. Okay, that section. Alright, let's see that section. 5 with a point. wide though. How about that one right there?
Which one?
The pink one next to the illuminated mushroom.
This?
Does that have 5 points?
It does.
5 pointy thing there.
You're saying put it on this?
I don't know. Does it unlock? What's that one called?
There's one we had that did unlock. Do we want to try that before we try this? That I know we indicated.
Okay.
I know we identified. I just have to find where it is because it says, hey, it unlocks locks.
Okay.
So in fact, I'm going to look for that first, specifically. Yeah, unless you both have a problem with that.
No.
Okay. I just have to find where it is. Breath. Actually, I think it was earlier as far as what it was in the book. Was it Brimwell? Okay, that's the one for hypothermia. It's not that one. It's not that. That's the bomb and ice string.
No,
Oh, here we go. Compilation. That's it. I knew it was something, so let's find what Compilation is, since we did identify it.
Got the heart-shaped leaves. Heart-shaped leaves. There it is, couple down. The next one.
There you go. So let's unlock this. Okay, here we go.
Oh.
So we got something in here. So follow the Judon tributary to its source. Okay, first the corpse's friend, a reminder, then the ankle grabber, which I saw notes on that in the book, the binder, the third is the fear bringer, fourth to lift a curse, and last, secure back black blood's reverse. So this is the 5 we need. Follow this to its source. I'm going to put that on the side. We might not need this right now. So,
It's a riddle,
yes.
but corpse's friend is the one that grows out of the corpse.
Yes.
I forget which one that is, but there is one that grows out of
Well, you know what that means. Let's look through the entire book.
There was a picture of a. I think we can scan very quickly through it and see the picture of the skeleton.
Oh,
in the
right.
book.
Can we?
Yeah.
Where was that?
Just scroll through all the pictures of all the things.
Yeah.
Go.
Yep.
Go.
I love that. And also, listen to the music as well. We've heard the same music the whole game as it was this piano piece, but now you get this great violin piece, which is beautiful.
Lift curses. Wait a minute. Turn one back. Go back one. Lift a curse. No, we just skipped. No, I don't know if you go 2. Did you go 2? No. Okay, we must have gone too fast. 1, 2, back. Lift curse is long veracund. Fourth to lift a curse.
Okay. So
We
in that
don't
case,
have
we
that.
know that. We found Long Veracund, so as soon as we find that, we put that in.
You know what I might do if I were to start this game before again? I might put them in alphabetical order. My plants.
Right.
That's a good idea.
There's long veracund. You just passed it.
That's Veracund. There we
Yep.
go. So that's one.
That's one.
Or does it have to be in the order that they're saying?
I'm not sure there's an obvious
Fourth
starting
to
point.
lift a curse. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I don't know
Okay,
if
so
I
fine.
can-
That's one. That's the fourth one. Let's see if we can find the thing with the skeleton, if there's something in the
Five.
picture.
I thought there was. Maybe there wasn't. Maybe I'm just imagining it.
Yeah, looks like you did. So let's
Oh,
take
wow.
a look on.
All right. The
corpse.
corpse's friend. Ankle grabber.
Okay.
Binder. Fear. What's this one? Said to induce fear. Third is the fear bringer. That's this one. Widow's woe.
Widow's Woe, we've not indicated
We
that, so we can
haven't.
find it.
Dainty dark flowers grow out of a bed of long thin leaves.
Okay, let's see what we
Dainty
got.
long thin leaves. Dainty dark flowers.
There.
That's not dark flower.
Next to it.
Which one? This
Dainty
one?
dark flowers.
Oh, that's dark.
Pointy leaves. Nope, you want pointy leaves.
Well, not flat.
How about stop there?
This one?
What about those? Let's look at them.
Dark purple.
Yeah, they're very dark. Look. Dark flowers grow out of a bed of long thin leaves.
That's a
They seem
possibility.
to, that might be it.
I'm gonna put that in just there because I want to see also
Okay.
what order. That was third,
Widow's
right?
Woe.
That being said, I still want to look more on this just to make sure that we have this right.
Okay, long thin leaves. I think that is that one.
Who cares what this is? I was gonna say. Petals fall easily. Delta 5's not that one.
So,
It's not this one. It's like, yeah, I hope we can indicate that one. If we can't, I'll put an edit saying what it is. But
I think we got that one. I think that's what that one is.
I would agree, based on what I'm seeing. So that's 3,
Corpse's Friend and the Ankle Grabber.
and then the Petal to Secure Black Blood's reverse.
Okay.
Okay.
There it is.
There
the
we go.
Ankle
Swift
Grabber.
Snare. We've not indicated that. That is heart-shaped leaves. Let's see what we got. We've not identified.
Is that a heart-shaped
Let's
leaves?
look.
Yep.
Moves fast for a plant. Once it's snared, possible to extricate without help.
Look at it. It looks like it'll snare you.
Yeah, you're right. And that was, I think, the second one. I don't know if the order matters. We'll find if the order matters.
Okay.
Then
Corpse's Friend.
one of the entries explicitly stated that.
Petal to
I thought it was on a left-facing page.
a petal to okay. Petal to secure Black Blood's reverse.
That's because we already gave it that.
Paralyzing. Mental
Apart. Sand, fire.
Dead souls.
Where was that?
Spirits of dead souls. Oh no, right to the right. No, it's not in there.
Rhododendra, fox button, gandy root. One did say Corpse's Friend. I remember that.
I did.
Those words specifically.
Black. Wait. Hold
No,
it. One
no.
more. Black blood. Deadly poison. Blood to slowly turn black. There's a black
So
blood.
Elderfinium. Okay, that we can get Elderfinium. That's fine that way. So let's find Elderfinium. Shimmerlung, Royal Suspicious Parasite, Rhododendra, Fennec, Eyebright, Ranthium, Embersoul, Red Ebony, Elderfinium. There's that. That's 5th.
Okay, so we just need the one that's the. Corpse's Friend.
Let's see. Help the dead find peace in the afterlife.
No.
I don't know if that's it.
No. It did. I think it did say corpses something. Didn't it say corpses?
I guess
the
we
hell
did.
is
Them all?
Or,
I think we did.
okay, we'll try it. Let's try again slowly. All right. Wow, stomach pains. Okay, it's not those two. Hypothermia. Skin rash. Nope. Find peace in the afterlife. It's not that one. Afflictions of the mind.
No.
No. Nope. Common trials quickly. Balm. Nope. Curse should be frail. Copper count. Fungus not part of the plant. Nope. Courage. Corpse's Friend to the right. Devil's Nightcap. The
Devil's
one we
Nightcap,
couldn't
yeah.
get. The one we could never find.
We did get more of them now, so we're gonna have to
All
find
right,
it.
okay.
So, all right, let's go through.
It has a
each-
light, pleasant scent, not dissimilar to pine needles. So it's got long, skinny things. Try that one.
I think it's this one.
That one, yeah.
It's this one, I think.
Yeah, see the leaves have that on
That's
that
it.
leaf. That's it.
Reminds me of Pine
Yay!
Forest. That's the one. So fine, let's. I think we need to start labeling every goddamn one of these before we do anything. So
Really?
yeah.
In case we
Yes, if we're wrong.
We don't have to. We can pick it up again. Okay.
Yes.
Devil's friend. Devil's somebody.
Devil's Nightcap.
Nightcap. Hello,
Sick.
the Devil's Nightcap. Does the devil want a nightcap?
You're talking alcohol, I'm assuming, yes.
I'm assuming the devil wants a nightcap.
Okay, because that was... Okay, fine. It moved it over when we did that, so fine. That's Devil's Nightcap. Fine. Oh, fine. Long Veracun we indicated. Elderfinium we indicated. What was that one? That was... Oh, fine. We'll indicate this just in case. I'll keep it as it is. We'll see if this does it, or, let's see. Fine, no, I'm gonna let them be. Fine, the Fearbringer. In that case, I will label them, because she walked off. So, let's get the Fearbringer. I just remember what that was. And then when I've identified this or put on the label on it, then, and when DollyFinn comes back, I will then, we'll do it. We're not doing this without her. Swift Snare. Okay, Swift Snare was the second one, so let's put that on. A sec. A Swift Snare. That'll go there. So it's the Devil's Nightcap, the Swift Snare, the Long Veracund, the Elderfinium, and whatever the Fearbringer was. I think that was near the end. The Widow's Well. Okay, perfect. Actually, perfect timing. I was able to find whichever one it was. Just almost. But what I want to do is I just want to make sure these all up. So Widow's Woe.
Okay.
Because also, Inhuretnakht also let you know is that the other reason to label these is because there is a day 17 that lets you label everything else.
Okay, if we don't get it, then we...
Alright, so there's Widow's Woe. So alright, fine. Last check as far as what we're gonna give them, okay?
Okay.
So, Devil's Nightcap is number 1.
Yay.
Number 2 is the Swift Snare.
Okay.
Then the Widow's Woe at number 3. Number 4 is the Long Veracund. And Elderfinium is number 5. Are we ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Alright, let's do it. 4 out of 5 are right.
Oh, shoot. Oh my gosh. The third is the big... So you only know 4 out of 5 is right? You gotta figure out the one you're missing?
Yep. You got it.
Oh.
This is a preview when we play Mickey's Ultimate Challenge for the Sega Genesis.
I would start with the ones that we just labeled. Make sure, like the ankle grabber, that's the one I would start with. Because to make sure that we actually, it was the ankle grabber.
The Swift Snare.
The Swift Snare, I would check that one out. It's
Okay.
possible we didn't see if there's any other one with the heart-shaped leaves and see.
Let's do that.
Because the other ones we've already named, and they all match to the book.
Yeah, and I know which ones we already named.
Right, and those are the ones we knew that were new to us.
Yeah, that's the sheep's... Wait.
Maybe put the ones we're thinking about in their own place.
Actually, wait a second. We already indicated the sheep. Wait. Hold on. Oh no, that was something else. Yeah, that's Swift Snare. Okay, so I want to see what that was. That was Sheep Snap. Daisy Dock. Heart-shaped leaves. Okay, that's another one. Once a snare, it is possible to extricate itself without help. So that's one that has heart-shaped leaves. Let's get a place out of the way so we can indicate where they are, just right here. So, okay. So that those heart-shaped leaves. Let's take a look at other stuff. Anything that's got that, and we'll figure it. That doesn't have heart-shaped leaves, but as soon as I said the snare thing, I was like, okay, the sharp thorns are the upper leaves, but they're not heart-shaped. Let's see. That's starry, but that's not it. Let's look at everything we've already indicated just to make sure.
Okay.
Perhaps we could just take a look at the one that we thought it was for a moment.
Just a minute. There's Calvillion. That also is heart-shaped leaves, but that's not it. I'm just looking through every case of it. Okay, because this is the other one we found.
Okay. So maybe that's it?
I don't think so.
No? Wait a minute.
Because go back and read the hints about the one that we thought it was.
Okay.
Go back and read, the
Bell-shaped
hints,
flower.
read what it says about it.
Just give me a second to pull it up.
It's to your left.
Yeah, it's to the left.
left.
Over there.
It's very
It's
far
by
to
that
the left.
electric green thing. It's one over the electric green.
It's past the glowing mushrooms.
There we go.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
read the description of it.
Yeah, let's see what it says.
Just put it down and take a
I'm
look.
moving it over here.
Okay.
Because you said put them over
Yeah, can
here
we
in,
see-
together.
It
and
moves
see what
fast
they tell
for
me.
a
So
plant.
Swift is in the name.
So that must be
That
right.
must be right.
So that's
the
got to
other
be
one-
right.
The
So
other
one of
that
those
we
is
had
wrong.
identified is probably the one we got wrong.
So Widow's Woe. That's another one
guessing.
we didn't indicate. Because actually, just to get a sense of which ones did we label already.
We had that one.
We had that already. We had
Had
that
that one.
already.
We
We didn't have the Devil's Nightcap,
we didn't.
but
that's right.
that's right. That has
Yeah,
to be right.
it is right. It's got to be that one then. That's not the Widow's Woe.
The Widow's Woe.
Okay,
so that
so
was
what does it
wrong.
say?
Just take a look at Widow's Woe.
Said to induce dainty dark flowers grow out of long, dark, thin leaves.
And it says unpleasant
Dainty,
scents.
the dainty dark. Yeah.
They don't say anything about a scent.
Are those dainty dark flowers next to the watering can?
Wouldn't it be hilarious if this is the one?
That would be. Dark blue flower smells like sweet. Yes.
Unpleasant?
Oh, unpleasant. Sounds like
No.
no. Okay, no.
Unfortunately, no.
Dainty blue flowers. And it's long stem.
Dainty dark flowers. Let's see.
Yeah,
It's
no.
bland.
And the stems have to look a certain way.
Here's one where they're long. Let's take
But
a
they're
look what
not
it says.
Dainty.
The flowers are
dark
delicate. Well,
It's not the right color.
when you say delicate, does dainty work?
Yeah, dark. They have to be dark, though.
flowers, okay.
So it has to be something purple or blue. Or would red? Would red be dark?
Small leaves, delicate flowers.
Delicate
not this.
flowers. Delicate is another word for dainty, right? Delicate and dainty?
Maybe.
Go out
but
of
it's-
bed of
that's
long. Oh,
my
that's right.
concern.
A bed of long, thin. Yeah, true. There's dark flowers too.
this.
Yeah. That's not a bed of
Quite beautiful, really.
deep blue. Mm.
There's another blue, but that's not dark enough. Sickly sweet. Fine, that's partly due to unpleasant. It's just sickly sweet. It's massively scented. Fine, this is. Let me look at this. It's not that.
No, the dainty dark flowers. They're dark. How about that one? The
These-
red one.
These berries.
They're
I
not.
don't know if that's
Oh,
gonna
okay. Long flat leaves. Yeah. How about the next one next to it? Well, they're not dark.
be- Well, hold on. Let's see.
Long thin leaves.
Unpleasant and
Sharp
sharp
and
and citric.
Sharp and citric. They could.
It could
but
be.
now wait a minute. Look, you know what? The leaves have a line in the middle of them, and we always look at the leaves, right? We always
Yes.
find it has a line. So
Right.
it has to have a leaves with a line.
So let's see what we got.
Are those delicate dark one over the purple? The ones we just skipped? A bed of.
This?
Yeah, a bed of. I mean,
Unple-
yeah.
that.
Rather unpleasant scent.
I don't know.
The
It might be too big.
Yeah, and the leaves might be too thick, and they're not dark.
So, let's think about this.
An unpleasant scent. Dainty dark flowers.
I don't think there's anything else inducing fear that's not what we gave it.
We go back to the one that we thought it was.
Sure. It's over here.
Check the leaves. Do they have the line down them? No.
No.
Not quite.
It's not
Does
that.
anybody have the... Maybe we should just look for something with the lines down them. Let's
Okay.
pull every leaf out.
Pretty much, yeah.
Is it
What about that
possible
one at
we
the
don't
end?
have it?
Is it? Yeah, it could be. Is it possible we don't have it?
Well, let's see.
If we don't have it, could we go get it? Do we need to get it, or they're saying
Well, it says here, follow the Dudden tributary,
to its source?
We haven't done that.
So we have to go to the map.
but what does that mean?
It's
The
a.
map.
It's a.
Dunn's the river.
It's yeah.
You saw where that was?
To its
Well,
source.
probably.
We'll find. Yeah. Dudden tributary. Tributary is thing that leads into a river, right? That leads into a bigger body of water.
Let's also do zoom in.
River Kirkland. Dudden, right there.
Where is
River Dudden, where Whitefell is. So J11.
J11. Okay.
So the tributary is to its source. That's the tributary, right? To its source. Follow it to it. So there.
L13.
Yeah.
Never saw it before. Let's see. Let's see if this is even what we're looking for. It may not be for all we know. but it looks
Yes,
like it is.
yes.
Okay.
Woohoo! Widow's woe.
Fine. In that case, we're taking the label off.
How do we do that? How do we take the label off? You got a snap? You got a scissor?
No, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're just gonna put this on here.
Oh, you just put it on just.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Erase it.
okay, erase it. Okay.
Yeah.
so-
No name.
Okay.
There you go. That's the eraser.
Now we're gonna. We got
So-
the widow's woe.
Where was it?
That's it right there.
Is this?
Yep.
Okay, fine. So Inhuretnakht walked
Look
off.
at the leaves. Look at the leaves. We're
So,
gonna wait
okay,
till
fine.
fine.
Let's also look at the book just to get a sense of that again.
Okay.
So,
Definitely.
dainty dark flowers, dark red flowers, somewhat damp smell.
Yep. So unpleasant scent.
That could feasibly be
Dark red flowers. And look at the leaves. They all have the lines on them.
perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna label this one
Okay.
as Widow's Woe. So this should be it. I think we have it, but let's see. And also remember, this is gonna be a case of, what's gonna go on with the ending. I'll talk the endings in just a second, depending on how this goes.
Okay.
Widow's Woe.
Oh, woe is me. We got it.
Okay, well, because we do have 4 out of 5 right, so good job as far as that.
Yeah, that was good actually.
So, alright. There we go. That's all 5 of them. We did do that. We figured that out.
All
Put
right.
the labels away. So, fine. Our final one for sure
For the
is the
countdown?
Devil's Nightcap, the Swift Snare, the Widow's Woe, the Long Barracoon, and the Elder Finium.
Should we count down?
I think we're good.
3, 2, 1.
Got it.
Woo!
Okay, so let's see what it said, as it's off screen, unfortunately. Well done. I'll take it from here. I stand back and watch as Verona walks to the shrine, muttering soft incantations. Because a long time passes, but it was only 10 minutes. Nothing's happening.
Uh-oh.
What do you mean nothing's happening? We got the right plants? I think so. Perhaps we need to be patient. There's any tape butter and cold. Woman, the J. Maxwell is calmly and slowly towards us. Behind her is the black silhouette of the servant. Uh-oh. There it is.
Ooh, wow.
Thumbnail for this part. I'm making that call right now. That's going to be the thumbnail when I upload this.
That's great. Look at
What
that.
is?
That's a creepy creep.
Well, sort
Okay.
of.
What was
Let's
it?
have been patient. We're out of time. And love how they're kind of suggesting this, because I'll tell one thing I did not mention tonight at all since we went on. We are all doing this blind. Not a single one of us is in the end of this game. Am I right about this?
Right,
We've not
correct.
done any practice at
No,
all for
we
this game this
haven't.
entire week. Am I right about that?
Does it show?
No, it doesn't. No, it
All
doesn't.
right.
No, it doesn't.
All right, what was that about being patient? I think we're out of time. Do not be afraid. I'm here to surrender willingly. The servant cannot be allowed to.
But they also say her name. Look it up there. Her
Thea
name. Thea Ward. This is the daughter of Reuben Ward.
Oh,
Remember, in the
no.
plot, they said that his daughter was gone.
Uh-oh.
His wife died, and what was going on with his daughter? His daughter ran away,
Uh-oh.
joined the coven. The coven, as it was.
Creature lunges forward and brings a huge arm scything towards her. Her scream pierces the cold air and she drops to her knees, clutching her head, but the blow seems to glance off to one side. As it comes hurtling down, the beast's claw ends up embedded in the dirt instead of the woman's back.
So it missed, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Can't hold back much longer. You're gonna need this. Alright, catch.
She throws a small vial of red liquid which Reuben deftly catches and holds up to the light. Blood.
Quickly, I know what to do. So Verona grabbed the vial, fumbled to get the stopper out, and turned back to the shrine. Serving his huge arm free again, slowly advancing with strange jerking movements. You know what? I gotta tell you, I love the way that this kind of suggests. We talked about this the whole game, so I'm glad this is coming to a head this way. That they could feasibly show us what all this is. And they could really good that way. But also the fact that a lot of this is going to be in your imagination. We were talking earlier today, DollyFinn, you and I, about the days of Atari, and when it came to the tech of it, oftentimes you had to use your imagination. People tend to say that because it's kind of more suggested. This game, and Myst to a certain extent too, I think does this as well. Inhuretnakht, since you mentioned that one, to kind of give this sense of something underneath that, and then also where the plot is going. You see stuff to give a sense of satisfaction, and the question of kind of just playing in your mind. I don't know how you're both taking this, just looking at this fresh.
It's really good. I can't believe we're actually at this point.
Yep.
All right.
Verona pours the blood into a small cavity in the shrine, and everything seems to happen at once. The white, bright light launches toward out of the shrine towards the servant, hits in the chest.
The huge beast shrieks and staggers backwards, drowning out the screams of the woman in the jade mask who is clutching her head and writhing in agony on the ground. Uh-oh.
And flashlight warning I'll have when we edit this.
Oh no.
By thunderclap and blinding flash of light. Yeah, flashing light warning too for that. Suddenly the servant's gone. A patch charred where ground smolders where it stood moments before.
My head is spinning at what just happened. Did it work? Have we defeated the servant?
Well, let's see.
Uh-oh. Have we?
Well, here we go.
With the dust settled and the servant vanquished, yay! I've been able to reflect on the events of the last few weeks. We are fortunate that Thea was able to stay in control of the beast for as long as she did. Who can say what would have happened if she was unable to prevent it causing the destruction it craved? Undermere has never felt so jubilant, so full of life. All the nervous tension that has built up evaporated in an instant, and the people have plowed their energies into celebration and merriment. They do not know the whole truth, of course, that Thea, the woman in the jade mask, was the one who summoned the servant. Uh-oh. I promised Reuben that I would leave it to him to unravel that mess. She is his daughter, after all. That's what you said, yeah.
Yep.
And for myself, well, I'm back in the calm of Strange Horticulture, of course, with Hellebore for company. It's quieter around here, but I'm content, and there are always more plants to learn about and discover.
Yep, and as I mentioned, then there's a post-game perspective this to be able to have random customers come in. Okay, we'll talk ending number 2, Elder Finium. It is done. The servant go back to being a dark story for dusty shelves. Okay, so it also shows how elements of the story went based on the choice we made. So, and when I'm done with this, we'll talk about what the other possible endings are. So, Reuben Ward is alive, attempting to reconnect with his daughter. Verona Green is alive. She comes to me for advice and become close friends. Bagley Coleman, the sister's alive because she's in your debt for the actions that saved the sisterhood. Faye Swift is alive because she's not treated the servant since you performed the ritual. The cultist went into hiding. We haven't seen him since the defeat of the servant. There are rumors of living in Rydal Cave once again. Forrest Vera got injured, unfortunately, on this one. Both his body and pride have been damaged, but he did live to see another day. Thea Ward went into hiding because of what happened. The chain of her actions causing so much pain and death. So long as she'll ever fully recover from this. And Isidore Burbage, he wants to sue us.
We knew that all along.
Well, I didn't know he was going to sue us, but I guess that's the idea. So, fine. Before we continue, there are 8 endings to this game. Let's talk about what the other endings were. We got number 2, which it is. I just want to see this because I'm looking at the endings I've actually not seen before. I made sure not to look at this whatsoever before I touch this to get a sense of what happens and how many cases are good endings.
Was this was a good ending? So there's so many good endings, so many bad ones.
There are 2 good endings and 1 that is debatably good. Let's go through all the endings. We got ending 2, and also go to what you need because apparently, okay, fine. Well, not all the way. So they'll tell you what the plants that are needed. So we're gonna go through that as it is. So we got ending 2, which was Banished. That is a good ending. The bad ending for ending 1. That was for day 16. Let's see. If we gave Thea Widow's Woe instead of the Dead Man Finger on day 15, and we brought them there, we banished the servant, but Thea couldn't control the servant, and Reuben then jumped in to protect her, and they both die.
Ooh, I'm glad we didn't give her that.
That was ending 1. And Undermere is saved in the Dark Fate. What we just did was we banished the servant, Reuben stays alive, and Thea goes into hiding, but she lived. Now,
Woohoo!
that's ending 2, Elderfinium. Ending 3 is a bloody mess. That's what it's called. This is a bad ending. It does change what plants you have to give it.
Okay.
So in that case, the Widow's Woe is still part of it, but you also have to give it the Lizzle of Neptune, the one we couldn't find, and the Candlewood.
Okay.
It also gives you different elixirs. You have to do the Elixir of Control as it is, specifically. And there's something that happened on day 4 that we had to actually make. You would have to do something on day 4 to make that happen, which is give Face Swift the Auguria to ease her visions, or the Candlewood. Well, fine. You have the choice of that. You give her the Candlewood, and then if we gave Simone the Lizzle of Neptune, she'll talk. She gives us the recipe for the Elixir Control. And then, after taking the elixir, Faye was unable to overpower the Jade Mask and dies.
Okay.
And then the worst ending of that is using the Candlewood, the Lizzle of Neptune, and Dead Man's Fingers, and it is the same element of the elixir controls. You have to do the things on day 4 and day 13 that I indicate. And I'll have the link also showing what these all are. I mean, fine, I'm spoiling the other endings, but we saw one of them as it is, and I'll also put in
A spoiler.
I'll put in spoiler warnings as far as saying, like, where the spoilers are going to go and where it's going to end when I edit this. Just to indicate. There's a couple other edits I have in mind I'm going to do on this one.
Okay.
But that being said, Faye was not to be trusted with the control of the servant. She overpowers the Jade Mask with the servant, which lays waste to Sadgil and Kentmere, and then Undermere's waiting for its reckoning, but Thea recovers her sanity and reunited with the father, so basically the servant would still be around, and we could feasibly die.
Okay.
But there's a couple other towns that are going bad. I am the Dendru. I think I know where this is going, specifically.
What ending is that?
That is ending 5.
Okay.
That's also a bad ending. Let's see. Okay, giving Faye Swift the Candlewood on day 4, getting the Elixir Control by giving the Lizzle of Neptune. So a lot of those are based upon the thing we saw on day 13 tonight.
Okay.
And if we gave Thea the Dead Man's Fingers instead of the Widow's Woe, and craft the Elixir Control, by doing that, Thea becomes too powerful to wrest control of the servant. Or powerful for me to wrest control of the servant, so I guess then... I don't know what it says. The other good ending is ending 6, which is... They're all based on the Candlewood on day 4 and the Lizzle of Neptune, so yeah, we went a bit different.
We did.
As far as how it was.
And we still got a good ending.
Yeah, that other good ending is you become the master of the servant. You take control of the Dendru from Thea. So basically, we would have the servant under our finger, specifically. And then praise the Dendru. This is going to the cultists, as it is. Fine, because that was Gemini 96's element. He looked and said, "This guy's a cultist."
Ennis Alford.
Ennis Alford, thank you.
Wow.
Let's see. So Thea was too strong for the cult and destroys the offering, killing a cult member with the Dendru. The Siege of Redemption disbands after this, and you're shunned by the people of Undermere, so basically we can't show our faces here, otherwise we'll probably be lynched or something. We'll have to wait for when the Dendru eventually returns, so we have to be exiled at the element of that.
Gosh, wow.
And the other possible good ending, that is ending 8. And also, again, the plants change based upon what happens at the end. By praising the Dendru, it accepts your offering of the Dendru elixir, which is another elixir we didn't make.
Okay.
Now free of Thea's grasp. After drinking the elixir, it turns around, it dismembers her by cutting her in half.
Holy mackerel.
Fine, remember, if this was like a little misfortune, this was a mature rating instead of an E10 rating, just to go into that. But the Dendru isn't grateful and promptly kills the cult. So, Thea dies, the cult is killed as well, you live, and basically you become the new cult leader. So, that is the other ending. So, when you really think about it, this probably is the best ending of all of the 8 that I just went into, with the exception of one of them. But
and we fell into it.
We kind of fell into it, but that also goes to the idea of that you can kind of play this game to certain degrees if you can find everything with it.
So I might play
There
it
you
again,
go.
actually. And if I played it again, I might pick the ones, when I look those plants up, the ones that actually aren't good for the people, just to see what you
Yep.
get, right?
Okay, so that is Strange Horticulture. We'll look at a little more in day 17
Bad
as it is,
Viking.
but all right, let's. We're going to final thoughts on this one. DollyFinn, you want to start us
Well
off? Final
done,
over on
Rob.
this?
Rob Duncan and your brother.
You want to give your final layout on this
Yes,
game as far as what you think and why
I,
people should play this?
I really like it. I think it's great. I think it's cool. These two brothers created this game together, and one's the artist and the designer and the coder, and the other one's the coder and the designer. So that's really, I don't know. I think it's really cool. I enjoyed it. It makes you think. Sometimes it's hard to pick the right plants, but if you have a keen eye, you'll get there in the end. And you have to have patience and take your time, and it's a slow build. But it's cool. I think it's great. I had a lot of fun.
And am I right in assuming that this is a case that when you get something like that, you feel like you're satisfied?
Yeah, very satisfied. I think it's grand.
Right.
A lot of fun.
Okay, and thank you for indicating this to us, DollyFinn. She's the reason we're playing this. Inhuretnakht, based on what you've seen, what are you thinking of what you've seen of the game?
It was a good game, yeah. It's something different, and but it was very compelling, and there were some interesting puzzles to solve, and it seemed like there was a challenge, but it wasn't so difficult that you would become too frustrated, and it seemed like a nice game.
I like that point about it. That it's not too frustrating. You can figure it out.
Right.
That's the.
But I've also said this, we talked about this a couple times, which is when you get a game that's difficult, the idea of when do you keep playing it, when do you like, I don't want this game to beat me, and then when you're just like, okay, I can't do this. It sounds to me like this might be, feel free to indicate this if I'm understanding this right from both of you, this is a case where you kind of get in that case that you don't want it to beat you. Am I right about that? That's how you would take the idea of what we're saying here?
Yeah, and once you want to keep trying. Like at the end. We were going to get that darn plant.
Right. And we came close even without, with the one we got wrong.
We did good.
We did really
good.
well. And as I said, that's what I also was saying when it came to the idea of, a cooperative element on a game, even though it's single player. I guess to go into my final thoughts, I want to thank you, DollyFinn, for pointing this game out to us, because I don't know if we would have played this game right away if not for you, but also the case that, well, I've sometimes talked about this, the idea of that next classic. We are a retro game show. In a few minutes, we're going to indicate that element for sure. But it's something that I've always said, what's going to be that new classic? What's going to be that game that's going to kind of take you off guard? You hear the name, like, okay, what is this? It's kind of, it creates an interesting sense of mystery in your mind just on what the title is and the look of the title card as far as when you go on to download it. Because this is a download-only game. This is not a physical release. I think it's deserving of one feasibly, although, the overhead of that is probably never going to be a case of doing that. But if it is, I will point it out and say, yeah, you should get this thing digitally, or physically, I should say. But it really bewitched me. This game really got its hooks into me. It got its hooks into a lot of people I know. When I was saying, we're going to play this game, it's like, what is this? I kept getting questions on that. I had coworkers of mine saying, what is this? I like these kinds of games. I want to go buy this. What's it called? I said, Strange Horticulture. It's on a bunch of systems. I'll go on that in just a second. I had people who were helping me when it came to the test play, the Crochet Nerd 64 and Chasm 22 and Gemini 96 in particular. And even Ed Wack looked at this and said, honestly, this is not necessarily the kind of game I would choose to play, but I have to be honest, this is something that did catch my attention. It is something interesting. He's always one about independent games when it comes to this, because he's a big one as far as Switch with stuff like that. If anything was physical, I would think we'd buy it right away, just for the basis of that. But that reaction really got me interested. And as I was preparing for this game, they were also coming up with great ideas. Like, Inhuretnakht, you said this specifically. You said, hey, what about the coordinates of some of the points for some of those cards we got?
Yeah.
It's something Gemini 96, like, he's like, what about this? And it often was the case that they weren't even feasibly playing this, but they said, what, I'm looking at the screen, I'm getting a sense that, hey, there's something to this, let's try this. And it turned out doing it, they're like, wow, it completely took them aback.
It's not like only a puzzle, it's almost like what do you call it, hunt? A treasure hunt.
Yeah, kind of is. Or fun. We mentioned the point click thing, and when we did the preview of this back in November, Electverse, who comes in our chat every so often, or a lot as it is, he said specifically, this reminded me of Papers, Please, which was on PC and it's also on the Vita. It was a game, as I mentioned at the time, which is about you're an immigration officer and you're taking clues and notes a lot like this. They'll give you your paperwork when you get to the border. You have to look through that to see what's in line, is everything right, and if it's wrong, you're sort of like, yeah, get your ass out of here. You're not coming into our country.
Who developed that game?
I'll have a name. I'll have a name down here as far as who developed it. But it's like this one.
Funded by the GOP.
No. I mean, it was actually from a foreign country, as it is. Although, then again, given what's going on now, it might be another case like we don't want that. But that being said,
truly,
I think it was out of, I believe it's somewhere out of Europe as well, and this is also European developer as it is specifically.
I thought it was going to be very political, from this country.
Well, this was actually back in 2012, 13. I'll have the name of the company who made it, but it also, like this one, it's something that you're kind of putting clues together. It's something that you do have to pay attention the same way you're paying attention as you pay attention to these little details. It might be these little things like, hey, they'll like forge something. It's like, hey, here's something like one of the signatures might not look right or might look a little off. And like there's like a T they didn't cross or something, or they didn't notarize it correctly. So like this game, you're looking at a lot of the details of the plants in this game. Say, wait, what's this? And you have to kind of put these things together. And I haven't played that game, but it's a game that is very interesting from what I've seen. This looks like it's really interesting, and that's, I think, what we were saying as far as Strange Horticulture as well. As far as like very specific idea, like where did the point and click game go? Papers, Please in this game, I think, are really kind of a good indication of that, and showing that there is a lot of life to it. There is an intrigue. It gets you in that mindset. It gets you in the sense that, in both of those cases, those are games we don't see a whole lot of things. You don't get to be an immigration officer in a lot of games. You don't then run a flower shop. It's something different, but it's also the kind of thing. What this game does, and from what I've understood in that game, it does it too, and this is maybe the highest compliment I can pay this. It really immerses you with little, and both of those games do that. Most of it's story stuff. It suggests it's all about text. It's all about some little pictures of things to give a little indication, but it really gets you in that sense that you're looking at these walks of life, these ideas of these occupations in ways that you usually would not look at them and usually don't get in a game. So the fact you're looking as far as, how do I do stuff with plants? How do I do stuff as far as an immigration officer, as far as Papers, Please is concerned? It's an immersion that is so unique for a game, because we've sometimes said, what's an immersive game? There could be a lot of things. It could be the case that you're immersed in a beautiful looking world that looks like real life, perhaps. But then you have both of these games that are stylish in terms of what they're looking like.
It's kind of fantasy, though, isn't it?
It's kind of fantasy, but it's also drawing you into something that you think that, could you make a game out of this? And the answer is yes, they can.
But I was going to say, the immigration one seems a little political.
Well, that was back in, as I said, in 2012, 13. I'll indicate that we could show that specifically. I mean, I guess that idea, but then also the question of how feasibly, I guess if nothing else, it's also putting you, with that game, in a difficult position of saying that, you have to be in this state of like, look, it's easy to sit back and say, oh, I'm just gonna rubber stamp everybody, or I'm gonna take the hard line. It's like, no, nobody's coming in. But then the question of, wait a second, they might be pleading with their lives. It might be a case that they're doing that just for the case of saying, no, I just want it through, but sometimes they might mean it. So you basically have to come up with this perspective of bring your morality to that game. And with this game, well, fine, I guess in some ways with this game too, because as we saw, there's cases where you could just give somebody the wrong flower. I mean, the guy, like the constable, he's saying like, hey, or the barrister, he's saying that, I need you to fix this thing with the rats. You can give him something that makes it worse. So you could say like, fuck you, I'm gonna give, it's like, don't worry, I know what I'm doing, but hey, he could feasibly die based on what we do. Right. But that's another question. So which is always a fascinating thing, and there's a lot of games we're going to be playing, I think, that go on that stuff like Life is Strange, the Walking Dead games, L.A. Noire, depending on how much of that I can show on the program for multiple reasons. But I think with what this game in particular, and this is why I think I really got into it, thank you, DollyFinn, again, for this.
You're welcome.
I never really would have thought, hey, I'm going to be focusing on plants, like looking at all these particulars this much. But it really is. But it also has this artistry. It has this intrigue to itself. It has a random element that makes it worth playing multiple times. Not one of these games that you're necessarily one and done on. As I'll continue right now, we have a day 17, so everything else that we didn't identify, you can keep going, or find this earlier. Have you heard of the monastery of Black Veil? I think it would interest you. River Man Raven Glass. You're a part of the world. Asking about it. It shows the horseshoe inn on Main Street. So, alright, fine. Here are the plants we identified. We identified 56 out of the 77. So we do have an element saying, like, he's at Horseshoe Street in Ravenglass. Let's have a last trip. Ravenglass, let's go there. Okay, so we got letters. Find Monastery of Black Veil here, or on a map. It was on the edge of the wood. But 2 of these, and then more puzzle. So, okay, fine, we beat the game.
Yeah.
But we have feasibly more to go. And also... In fact, I'll tell you what I think I might do. If you want, I can hold this. We can do as a show sometime down the road.
Yeah.
Some of the post-game
Let's
content.
do that.
A little bit to basically go through the rest of it.
Yeah, let's do
Because
that.
there is a little more.
We have 21 plants we haven't identified yet.
And then in that case, I can get the answer for this
do
one.
that.
That being said, I'm going to put down here what this plant is. I'm going to look up what it is because I said the Crusader 64. I said, I'm going to find out what this is. This one I'm going to do an exception. I'm going to say, this is what it is. I'll have the name down below saying this is what it is. And yeah, Merry Christmas, Crusader 64 for the purpose of that. And since it does have autosave, and we can do still hit ring the bell, I'll just do that. So in case somebody else come in. So here's the librarian again. Good to see you too, Hellboard. It's been a while. Yeah, it has. Team Wax is nothing ever happened, but it doesn't phase you, does it? Buried in my books and seem to miss all the excitement. You your plans to depart to play. I'm collating some information about sexual plans for book I'm putting together. Remember, we have finished identifying the plants. So there you go. So that's going to be the idea. So I will then at some point, I don't know when we'll do this. We'll figure sometime down the road.
Yeah.
We'll come back, we'll do the post-game content. At first I was like, you know what, I didn't know necessarily what that is. I think we can do this in a part. I think we'll hold to this.
Great.
So we'll hold this for a bit of time, just to have an element to it. But yeah, if nothing else, just to give a final thought now, is that if you haven't played this game, I think you should absolutely give this game a look. It is on, if you were wondering where can I get this thing, because Inhuretnakht, since you said you've not played this, it's in a couple places. We played it on the Switch. It is $15 normally to download, and I think it's on sale still for half off. I think.
I just saw it.
It is on. Okay, so you saw the Switch version of that. It is on Xbox One, Series S, and X for $15 as well. When it goes on sale, it's half off usually, but even $15, this game you're getting your $15 worth,
You are.
and more so for it. It is also on the PC. It's on Steam, and it's on Mac as well. On Steam, by the way, there's a free demo. So if you're looking at this and saying like, hey, I'm liking the look of this, but I kind of want to get the feel of this, that will be the way to go, because that is the only place that there's a demo of it. And it's also worth pointing out, if you want mouse keyboard control for it, PC is also your only option, because the Xbox One, Series S, and X versions had mouse keyboard support. It didn't work. They said we couldn't fix it. They patched it out. Switch doesn't have support for it either as it was. They just never had it. But that's the idea. And yeah, this is a great newer game, and it's one that I don't think are alone in our adulation in regards to. I think I might have mentioned this last week, but if I didn't, I'll go into one last time. Then we have one last thing, and we have Inhuretnakht here for that in particular. It was a game that was very well liked on a lot of best of the year lists of last year. Specifically, PC Gamer, who named it as the best puzzle game that came out last year. It was on their best of the year list. It also got a nomination for Excellence in Design at the Independent Games Festival at the Game Developers Conference. It was against Unpacking, which is another independent game that I know Edwax is a huge fan of, and Inscription, which was the game that won, as it was. And also Polygon and Rock, Paper, Shotgun also said this was amongst the best games of last year. And they got a point. It's also something that's off the beaten path. It's not going to cost too much. Specifically, but they said you're definitely getting your money's worth when it comes to this game. And again, thank you, DollyFinn, for the purpose of that. We'll come back to this as far as the post-game content for Simone Green.
But those images, so the art and design by John Duncan, I'll tell you that it's beautifully.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And it's very minimalistic and utilitarian, yes,
Love the
but
flowers.
there's such an art direction. It's something
It's
you've also said, DollyFinn, and I don't know if I've actually explicitly mentioned this when you've been on a show in room, but you've always said a lot of times when it's come to the games you've seen me play or that we've played on the show, you said, hey, there's something to be said about the way a game looks in terms of the color it's presenting itself with and the colors that they use.
Yeah.
This is a game that, look at all the plants we have. Look at this.
No, they're
look at
fantastic.
the variety of visuals, the fact they all stand out, they all have an identity, they all are showcasing an impressive technical element as far as what it is, and a great artistry.
Yeah, that is. He's.
And the elements of the characters there as well,
He's
as well as
crap.
Hellbore, who follows your cursor.
I
You
love
get
that little
Hellbore, there
kitty.
you go. In fact, that, by the way, that shot, as far as Hellbore is concerned, that's all I need to say to Crochet Nerd 64. I said, you can pet the cat, like, I'm going to buy this game. It's like, you know what, you don't have to just buy this game just because I'm showing it to you, but also the other case is that, you know, if you're not sure, you can download on the PC as far as the demo. I said, well, honestly, looking at what you're saying, I kind of get a sense already that I'm going to like this game as far as what my taste is, and paying the cat is a case of that. But yeah, only one other thing, as I mentioned, the only place you cannot get this game in a modern system is PlayStation 4 or 5. I don't know why they didn't put it on the console. Those consoles, I don't know, but they're not there, so it's
They
Switch.
should have done.
Well, maybe that's the idea, that maybe they get that later, considering how well reviewed it's been and the attention we're giving it as far as that.
Yeah.
We give attention to any game you want to see as far as it. All right, fine. We have a little more on the show, but we got one last thing to do.
Okie dokie.
And Inhuretnakht, this is going to be a little bit on you, and this is going to also come to something that we discussed last year. We did World of Illusion. Remember that?
Yeah, absolutely. That was almost exactly a year ago.
Yeah, a year ago tomorrow. So, what I mentioned, one of the things I mentioned when we did that show, I said, actually, there are two things. You were on the play of Tetris Plus, we did the week before that. You said one of your favorite games of all time. What was that?
Well, that had to be Harvest Moon on the Super Nintendo.
Yep. I said to you last year, it is on the Nintendo Switch Online app for Japan for Super Famicom because of weird licensing stuff with Natsume. It's never coming out in the US. I was wrong.
And here it is.
Here it is. In fact, right here. This is it. It released in 1997 in the US for the Super Nintendo. It was a late one. It was June 18th, I believe it was. This was about 9 months after the Nintendo 64 came out. In Japan, this came out in 1996 as Farm Story, as it was. It was published by Natsume, and it was developed or published by Pack-In Video in Japan. In Europe, Nintendo publishes themselves, as I found out. And it was developed by Marvel's company, as it was, and we were giving it a brief preview. I don't know when we're going to be able to get to this game as far as a full play of it, but I want to show this off. And yeah, the Crochet Nerd 64, he said, oh god, here we go. Also, I'm turning the volume up to 14. I did do a check of this before I came here, so we have the volume going on the game specifically. Also, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn up the volume of the television, because I have to turn the volume of this game up a bit on the tech side and also on the TV side. So yeah. Inhuretnakht, let it flow. Talk Harvest Moon, please. I know you love this game. Just go anywhere. The floor is yours.
Well, it's a game where you pretend to be a farmer and you actually have to do chores. Pretty
Yeah.
much the whole game is about doing slightly tedious farmyard chores, actually.
Fitting
So
then
it's-
with Strange Horticulture, we're playing this now, and I planned this.
Although it's not really a puzzle. I mean, it is in some ways it's open-ended. It has multiple endings, and
Yes,
there
it
are
does.
different choices you can make. But it's not really a puzzle game. It's. I mean, I guess you could say it's like an economic simulation. I guess you could say it's a work simulator. There were
It's also
various
an
other Japanese games that were work simulators. I mean, you could call it an RPG, I guess, but
I would call it an RPG, yes.
but it's stretching. It's certainly stretching the definition a little bit. I don't think that's an inappropriate term to use, but it's not your typical RPG. That's
It's-
for sure. I mean,
Yeah, and on a system that was known for its RPG stuff like Final Fantasy 4, 5, and 6, and The Secret of Evermore. ActRaiser was a favorite of mine. You might like ActRaiser, actually, if you've never played ActRaiser, which kind of is... It's like a god simulator, like a real-time strategy game with a platforming game. And fine, the RPG element on this goes, we're showing the demo briefly. Because, fine, this is Jack, by the way, that's the name of the character canonically. You can build his strength up as far as his stamina, because there's certain things that he'll do that take stamina away as you're basically getting yourself going. We're going to show a little bit of this as it is, but you're right, this is a game that wears multiple hats. And, I don't know, what was your memory of when you first played this game?
well, it's just sort of strangely addictive.
No question.
Strangely addictive. I guess also if you're the kind of person who likes to get everything. Imagine that you're the sort of person who maybe enjoys real-time strategy games, but you sort of wish that you could focus more on the building and less on the fighting, or less
Right.
on the kind of take your time to set things up the way you want them.
Uh-huh.
This game certainly allows that because well, I guess as we might see a little bit of it in a minute. I'm not sure what we have planned. We're not doing a full playthrough, but
Not yet. We will play this game
take a look
fully,
at a
I
couple of-
promise.
couple of things. You have a lot of flexibility to spend time in the game, setting things up the way that you want. Because basically, you inherit a derelict farm from a relative. I think it's
Your grandfather.
your grandfather, and if you want to, you can actually spend. Well, actually, let's just take a look at what it says here.
Yeah. So you're the one who's supposed to work the ranch today. Also, the translation is kind of hilariously off, but it's also something that gives it a lot of charm, doesn't it? There's one joke I always say all the time, and he might be the only person in the world who knows explicitly what it is because him and I grew up playing this game. That was our experience. My experience was I saw this in Nintendo Power. You looked, you said, you weren't huge into gaming the way I was back then, but even you said, this is something unique. And we looked everywhere to try to play this game. We looked everywhere we could. We had to find like a local non-blockbuster Hollywood major chain video store to find a copy just to rent. And then I actually gave this to you as a birthday gift that year. I still have this copy. This game goes for $400 on the Super Nintendo. It's the most expensive game
That's
I've
the most expensive birthday gift you ever gave me.
Except I paid $60 for it at the time. But yeah, this is, of all the games that I have in my possession, it is his copy.
When did you buy it?
November 1987.
97. How
When it
many
came
years has
out.
that been?
That has been 26 years.
26 years. Okay. And how much did you pay for it?
It was $60 at Toys R Us.
And now it's 400?
400. So it's multiplied in price by six times, 6 or 7.
Wow.
Right.
So it's sort of, let's call that, it's basically doubled, well, almost 3 times, doubled 2 times. So it's done pretty well. I mean, you invest in copies of this, it's kind of like investing in the S&P 500.
But it's also a case of this is,
over the same time period.
this is also a late release on Super Nintendo. This was amongst the last games to come out on the console, and it's also pointing... We still have this game in box, but the thing is that the box is not in great condition because admittedly Super Nintendo box maintenance is not an easy one, specifically, so that's the case. And as far as other releases, it was on the Wii and Wii U's Virtual Console. You can't download there anymore. I have the Wii U version. I downloaded that because at some point, like, if you want that Super Nintendo copy of yours back, it's yours. And it is on Switch Online. As far as if you have the base Switch Online service, it's $20 a
Well, I
year.
kind of want
You
to
have
side-load it into my SNES. What's it called?
the Super Nintendo Classic
Yeah,
Edition.
but you can't do that from Linux. So sometime I'll have to use you to help me.
Yeah, I helped the Crusader 64 do that. Like, fine, we own the damn game. Trust me, that's the idea. What do we want to put as our name for this?
Probably Bond.
Oh, yeah, very fitting that way, because I played GoldenEye like crazy over the past week, which is also up on the Switch Online with the expansion package, but yeah. So, Mr. Bond, alright. Because we were playing GoldenEye a little after this game came out. Was it?
I think that was also the name I used when I originally played through the game.
There you go, so telling your story of this, and that's why I want him here. And also, here's the other thing, is that, do you want to be the one to control the intro of this game?
I
What are you
could,
doing?
I'll just need a
Little
second
demo?
to...
That's fine, we got time, because all
We're
we're...
doing a demo?
Yes, we're doing a demo of this game. We're going to play this eventually. Inhuretnakht, if you want me to hold this game to do so you and I can do this, I don't know when we'll be able to do this.
We'll have to take a look at our schedules. My people can talk to your people.
That being said, is that this is yours. You want to call dibs on this. I'm not going to let anybody else touch this.
Yeah.
Specifically, if it's going to be anybody who's going to be on with this, or if you want, it's like, hey, you do it, and you come in,
Gotta be
chat
him.
or something. Yeah.
So it's the Cherry Blossom Festival now.
Yeah, it's where it's spring. So, alright, so we're in town. So yeah, feel free to also tell me if you want to run control on this. And I do have the Super Nintendo controls for the Switch if you want to do it. Okay. Alright, have at it, Inhuretnakht. And feel free to tell everything what's going on. By the way, just to give you an indication, you have to talk to everybody in town on day 1.
Wow.
And then he'll let you go. X button, by the way, is your, what is this? Yeah, sorry, your dog just knocked that over, but it's okay. Yeah, X is your inventory, you can hold up to 2 items at once. The B button is used to run. Hit the A button to talk to people. There is the priest of the church. Ask questions to people at the shop because they know many things, and for the rest, check the signboards. Yeah, in some cases you can talk to signboards. And when you get things to use, you hit the Y button in order to use your tools. A button is for actions that do not deplete stamina. As we're going into church. It's beautiful music. Alright, so this is Maria. She's the daughter of the mayor in town, and she's one of the women that you can
She a nun?
meet. She does have the look of that. That's what we're pointing out.
does.
She does sing at the church. That is the
There you
onus.
go.
But she is definitely not a nun.
Maria is an asset to the abbey.
We mentioned that when this came out in 1997. I remember that. We were talking the Sound of Music, and fine, not the first Sound of Music reference we've had. That, I think, is like the festival coordinator, or one of the festival coordinators, but the mayor is also a festival coordinator as we were going through the town and seeing all the areas. Yeah, so Inhuretnakht, take it away as far as this, as far as anything you want to say, any feelings you got playing this game again. I don't know if you expected we were going to play this game.
I did not.
Yeah, I held this one close to the vest because I said, fine, so you're able to get him for the purpose of this installment of the program. I said,
It looks so cool.
it does. And
Well, I
see,
guess I knew slightly before showtime, but
that's fine. I mean, you know this game, and remember, this is also a demo. It technically does not matter the case of that. Fine, I have a daughter, she's at the church. It doesn't necessarily matter. Like, I knew you could pick this game up briefly, fine, because that's the point of this right now. It's basically, we're gonna play this game eventually. I know the Christian Nerd 64 says, oh god, here we go, as far as this, because I mentioned this game all the fucking time. He said, when are you going to stop talking about this? But he can tell the love I have. I mean, I remember actually him and Surrender and Antonio, they were in, we did one of the Majora's Mask parts. On the edit, when we did the audio check, he said, you have all these games on N64, like, let's look at all of them. So we pulled the box out, and he said, I never heard this one, Harvest Moon 64, and he said, oh god, here we go. And I started howling. He was like, what is this? Like, you're scared, aren't you? He's like, no, don't worry.
I've never heard of this. Harvest Moon 64. What's this?
Oh god, here we go.
What is this? What is this? I'm sorry. Did I?
Oh, you just opened a Pandora's box.
You're afraid, aren't you? Hearing
Oh,
that, is that the idea?
Hey, I'm being honest.
I know.
I'll tell you what it is. It is a
Short version.
It's a farming sim that is about a guy on a farm that you're taking care of, and you have to woo the women in the town, potentially. Or they also have the later ones where you can play as the girl and all that. But then they also have the difference of version, but this was one on N64. I actually have the Super Nintendo game in there.
It's Stardew Valley before Stardew Valley.
Yeah, in fact, the guy who made Stardew Valley said,
Well,
I was
it looks like
inspired by it.
Stardew Valley. That's why I was like, wait, this kind of caught my eye. Like
It's
a
a great-
lot of my friends tell me to play Stardew Valley. So
Yeah,
it was
Edwack
just
is the same way. He said, you gotta
Yeah.
play this game. I said, play Harvest Moon. That's a cake, by the way. Yeah, but you can't afford it.
So it's fun. Can I ask you, what do people think is so great about this game now? That looking back, what is it that you hear people saying that's so great about it?
And Inhuretnakht, you want to take that one to start, or do you want me to take that?
Because do you know what?
I don't know what other people think about it, but
You know,
Okay, well, I can explain this because are any of you familiar with Stardew Valley?
no.
Okay, Stardew Valley is a modern farming game, very much like Harvest Moon. The guy who made it, his name will be down when I edit this. He specifically was a huge fan of this game.
Oh,
The game
really?
you're looking at right on the screen. He said, I want to do my own take of it. It became a huge independent hit. It is a
Really?
case where it is on basically every system known to man in the modern era. PC, PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox Series X, S, and
Did he call
1.
it this? He didn't call it this.
No,
But he didn't.
It's called Stardew Valley.
but is it on Linux?
Yes, I believe it is. I think it's on
Really?
every.
Oh,
I
wow.
believe it
Well,
is.
then
Is
that
it
changes my
copyright?
mind.
I mean,
No,
so
he just did his own take. It's a totally different game. It's a
But
different
it's about
story.
farming. But
It's about farming, and interesting enough, there are tons of farming games now, which
Okay.
you'd be shocked. There's stuff like Fae Farm, there's stuff like that one. Harvest Moon's still going, as I mentioned
Okay.
last year. Natsumi is the name, so they have their own element of Harvest Moon, but Marvelous, the people who made this, they branched off with Xseed, who does publishing now for them, of Story of Seasons. So the people who made Harvest Moon and made all the later ones after this, including Harvest Moon 64, Harvest Moon Game Boy, Harvest Moon Back to Nature, and Wonderful Life, which is on GameCube, and they did a new version of that. It's called Story of Seasons now.
What's the age
Maybe-
range for this thing?
Sorry, was that?
Age range.
So, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Inhuretnakht, can we say something?
I was gonna say maybe if we're doing a preview, we should just tell a little bit about what the premise of the game is.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do that, but I mean, also, in that case, since you're saying, like, what's the idea as far as the age range? Inhuretnakht, what would you say the age range is? I don't think this really has, like, a weird off age range, honestly, if I'm gonna be honest.
I think it's rated G.
It's rated, yeah, just rated kids to adults, or
The
basically
kids
equivalent.
play it. I mean, younger kids.
They could. I mean, fine. At this point, because this is so late in the Super Nintendo's life, they're playing stuff like Final Fantasy 4 and 6 and Chrono Trigger. We played Super Mario RPG for this program already, the original, and you bet your ass I'm playing that remake at some point, probably in 3 years.
Okay.
But the case of that is that, yeah, there were kids playing other RPGs as far as this was the system to own at the time for role-playing games. And this was kind of the last shot as far as the U.S. was concerned.
It's easy to control.
It is, yeah.
I don't necessarily know that kids would
Enjoy it.
gravitate
Yeah.
towards it
Well, I don't-
necessarily. It's
Well, I don't know. I mean, we did.
It's kind of an open-ended game. I mean, the premise of the game is you're trying to run this farm and basically grow crops, sell them for a profit.
Right.
Then you can also, if you want to, you can, these are possible love interests for you.
they are.
Meeting in the town, you can get married.
That's
and
why
so
I was
on.
That's why I was
So
asking.
it's
about
kind of
the-
this open-ended. I don't know. Maybe the closest thing to think about might be like The Sims somehow.
Yeah.
A little bit.
It's-
Precursor to The Sims.
It's
right.
not as it doesn't offer as many options, but it's more in that vein. I mean, it does use some of the mechanics. In fact, it uses almost all the mechanics of an RPG.
Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
the running
Isometric view, and as you were saying before, the ability to build up stamina and things like that. I think I might have forgotten to talk to this guy.
The peddler.
Maybe I didn't.
Oh, the only place I would think, did you go in the flower shop, which is up north?
I did not, because there's a fourth love interest who's in the back room.
Actually, there's 5, but we can't see the 5th one. That's okay.
Wow, you got a lot of choices.
You do.
Limited choices, but you have some choices.
Well, you have, and then you get a free water can, by the way, talking to the owner. Also, it's worth pointing out, this is, she'll say what her name is. I'm trying to remember what her name is.
Laura? No.
Nina. Okay, that was Nina. Maria's the one at the church. Anne is the redhead that works with machines. Eve is the woman who runs the bar. The blonde who runs the bar. It is alcohol in the Japanese version. In ours, it was changed to juice, but it's clearly getting drunk. And Harvard Route 64 explicitly says, fine, it's alcohol. They're not dancing around it.
No, wine is just juice with more life experience.
Alright, so going back to the ranch. Now I'll give you a lift. Training of shipping tools. Do your best to achieve each other's goal with grit.
Yeah, some aspects of the translation aren't the best.
They're not, but there are also cases where you remember them,
Like ordinal numbers are not quite correctly handled.
You're talking about the, 21th, 22th, 23rd thing, right?
Yeah.
You're the only person I know who actually knew what the fuck I was talking about when I said that. I just say that randomly. It's like, wait, what the hell's wrong with you? Do you have a stroke or something? I'm like, no, it's this game that's playing. And it's also the case that I tell people, people say, you should play Stardew Valley. And I played Stardew Valley a bit. But in their case, I said, you gotta play this. And I show them this game. And it is fascinating, but you do have the TV station where you see the weather reports. Alright, so yeah, if you want to talk then as far as how this game operates, then Inhuretnakht, since you want to run it.
We've got this farm, and it's a disastrous mess.
Yep. But first,
Oh.
doggy. Yeah, just Koro, sort of.
That's the 5th possible love interest. I think.
Yeah, she's the one I went after all the time, Ellen. The house is a grocery store, so my mom will let her keep it. His name is, without an apostrophe, you do it.
Oh. Ellen. Oh, you get to name it?
Only 4 characters. They enhanced that later, that's for sure. Well, short for DollyFinn, the other half of DollyFinn. So
Yay.
perfect, there you go, as far as it. The later ones would have more characters as far as being able to do that.
They named you Finn.
There you go. So perfect to that.
Kind of hard to get over to okay, though.
You could also, I think, hit start. I mean, never mind, I guess you can't. I think, yeah, hit down on that. Yeah, hit down on the heart. Alright, thank you very much. You have a new house, Finn. You've got to be a good boy. Take care.
Oh.
Oh, by the way, I'm Ellen. Okay, so yeah, sorry. By the way, you pick up the dog, you take the dog in the house, you hit, I think it's L, you whistle for the dog.
Oh.
And he'll come to you. Because I think it's the L button.
Oh,
There you go.
look at him. Finn listens. He listens, not like every other
Doggy.
dog named Finn.
Feasibly, yeah.
Put the dog inside.
Yeah, in this game, admittingly, unlike some of the later ones, there's not really much reason to do much with the dog outside as much. Although there are details in this game that I, for years, had no idea
You
about.
can see the time is passing.
Yes.
So days have a length
That
that's
is-
in minutes. It's several, I think it's about 2
About
minutes.
2.5 minutes, yes.
And
Oh.
as the colors change, you've gone from morning, now we've gone to kind of noon, we're going to go to afternoon. Eventually you run out of time, and it gets dark, and the music stops. You can keep working if you want to.
In this version, they changed that in the other ones. I was like, wait a second, I played the Game Boy one, and in that one, it's like, it keeps going, so it goes to 6 a.m. And then I was like, yeah, like, oh shit, it's late.
So-
I have to go.
So
to
it's a
sleep.
day. So it's like days. You have full days.
Yes.
And then you can go to sleep.
But it's sort of, I guess it's sort of unrealistic in that this game doesn't really give you a hard time constraint, whereas,
Well, not for day, it doesn't.
well, but exactly, it doesn't give you a hard constraint in the number of hours that you can work. So the later ones do. But you can see the farm is kind of a disaster. The first thing you need to do is clear the land.
Yes.
You
And-
do the work yourself.
You
Sure do.
the work yourself, so you can pick up these weeds and throw them. You can, with these stones, what you can do is you can throw them into the pond. Well, you can't even get near the pond because you've got to.
Yeah, just keep hitting that A button and toss these. And it's worth pointing out, we'll talk about the stamina thing in this.
But eventually, you run out of stamina.
And at noon, you eat food.
And then you eat some food to get your stamina back. But initially, you have very limited stamina, so you can't do much.
But for A button actions, it takes no stamina whatsoever.
So throwing, weeding and picking up these stones and throwing them in the pond, you can just kind of do this indefinitely over the course of the first night if you want to.
Yes.
Spend the whole time doing it.
What happens when you clear the?
The part where well, nothing really happens. You can then, you can't plant anything in spots where there's
Until
weed.
you, I got it.
But to get the big rocks and the big stumps, you've got to use an axe or a hammer, and for that you need stamina and use it up pretty quickly. So over the course of the game, you're getting better tools, which allow you to use less effort to accomplish the same amount of work, and then you can also build up more stamina, which allow you to do more work, without running out of energy. And you can see now we're coming to night.
It's
We've
3
done a lot.
p.m. Yes, 3 p.m.
It's getting darker, and eventually, it's going to be completely dark, and the music will then stop.
And you'll have to go to sleep.
And, well, you don't. In this game, you don't actually. You can
Thank
stay
God.
up all night if you want. So one thing you can do, and one thing I always used to do, is spend the first day clearing the entire field.
That's how we'll play it for the show, and it's also pointing out when we get to that
But
point.
it
This is why
takes-
we'll be a discussion program.
It takes. I mean, I think it may be that in that instance you may want to do a time lapse.
No, we're not doing that. And remember, I've told you this before. I told you once, I told you 1,000 times. I've told multiple people this on the show.
Well, I don't think
Some-
I've been told it because I don't know what's about to come next.
Well, fine. What I'll tell you specifically is that the reason I make this a discussion program, there's certain people, I will not name them, but they don't agree with that idea, and they're not the people in the room, as we're pointing out. But that being said, the reason I make this discussion program is that, hey, you know what? It doesn't matter that we're going into this. We can go off some random discussions about stuff as far as anything with this game, or go like 8 million tangents. And remember, we have the best chat on Twitch. It's like, the chat's like, hey, it doesn't matter that we're doing this. We can make this go because we'll get into a discussion. We've often had that case. We'll go off on, DollyFinn, you can attest to this. Fine. You know what? No, Inhuretnakht, you can attest to this too. When we did World of Illusion, you said, we can't justify 3 playthroughs of that game. I was like, you bet your ass we're going to be justifying 3 plays of that game, because I said, we're coming up with new things to talk about. I sped run the Mickey Mouse part of that game. We kept that unique. We had the chat talking about us about different things for it. So for this game, and for anything really we play, we can do that. And also on top of explaining what's going on. What he's doing is smart now. He's just saying, you know what, I'm going to toss everything around, because the A button actions for picking up stuff and tossing the weeds and tossing the rocks in the lake. By the way, the lake will never overflow with rocks. You can keep throwing it in and it will never, it's bottomless well, basically, as it is. They do not use stamina. You start with 100 points worth, and every time you use a tool, which are in the tool shed, you can go over and get that in a little bit, it will take points away. And on the screen, they do not show you how many points you have, but when you use it more, your character animation will change. So what will happen is, first he'll take the neckerchief, the red neckerchief he has there. He'll take it off, he'll wipe it off, and it's like, God, I'm getting tired. And then after you use it a little more, he'll just take a big breath, going, and then eventually he'll fall on the ground, sort of kind of like stumble, but then kind of get up. And then when you're out of energy, he'll like daze and at least clash on the ground. If you get it in the Y button at that point, you're done. You can't do anything more unless you either eat food, which you can find in the mountains, and you can go to the mountains as well in this game, or if you go up to the hot springs in the mountains, you jump into that 5 times, because each jump into that is worth 20 experience points. And over there, that flower patch you just passed by, when you find, I'm trying to remember what the name of the berries are for this, they will increase your stamina by 10 points.
This is the tool shed.
Yep. Talking about the tool shed.
At the moment, the only things that we can really use are the axe and the hammer.
But also the grass seeds as well. You have to till the land in order to make that happen.
You see, you can cut down this. Well, you can cut up this stump, and then it's gone. And now you've got some wood,
Yes.
and you can use the hammer to hammer this big rock.
Yeah, it takes 6 hits. It's also worth pointing out there is a bug in this game that they knew about and they didn't actually fix. Because if you look in the book in the tool shed, they'll tell you how to use the items. They say don't touch the control pad when it comes to hitting the big rocks. Because basically what happens is you have to just stand there and hit the Y button. If you hit the D-pad at all while you're doing it, you'll just keep hitting it and it will never break. Or it'll never chop up. So that's basically a bug that was in the software that they said, fine, we can't fix this, or they couldn't fix it, or whatever. And every other version of the game fixes this, but this one doesn't do that. So whenever you're doing chopping or hitting with the big stones and logs, do not touch that D-pad whatsoever. Line yourself up and just keep hitting that X button or that Y button 6 times.
You can see now I'm running out of energy.
Yeah, there you
and
go,
I can
you're
no
out.
longer stand. So if I try to do something else, now I'm just gonna fall over.
Yep.
So what you could do is go to bed, and honestly, I mean, it might be it's always what I used to do, but it might be a little bit much to clear absolutely the entire field in the first night. The point is, you don't actually need to. I mean, it's more of an aesthetic choice because in the early stages of the game, you're not going to be able to plant enough to make use of all the fields anyway. But if you did want to stay up all night, you would need to recover your stamina. The way you could do that is go over here, up to the mountains. There's a different soundtrack for the mountains, but not at night because
Yeah, everybody's
at
gone.
night, everything is gone. But if you go up the mountains, there's all sorts of things up here. There's some plants, interesting plants.
Yeah, flower that just goes away.
There's this is the fishing hole.
Yes, so when you talk to the fishermen there during the day, you can fish, and the fish is worth a lot of money, especially if you take it to the peddler on Sunday.
These are some guys who build you a new house, or they can upgrade your house,
Yes, they
workman's
can.
house. So you can later on, when you get enough money, you can make extensions and so on.
Yep.
There's some wild grapes. You can go eat those.
Yep.
Up here, and that gives you some degree of stamina, right?
Yeah, the berry of wild grape. It gives you, I think it's 10, but I'll have an edit down here if that's not the right number.
You can also go in this cave. The cave has some other things in it.
In fact, there's one of those stamina berries as well, but you can't get that for actually a decent amount of time.
Eventually, you get a way to get up there. You've got
Yes,
some more of
you do.
these.
Those are herbs.
Those herbs, yeah, they don't really do anything.
Well, they use them to sell, because that's the other thing. At 5 p.m., you probably saw the guy say, like, hey, is there any shipping today? He's like, no, bye. Basically, that means that you can come to the mountains and pick stuff and bring it home to put in the box. Thankfully, the later games, the one thing they do is that you have to drag each item in this game back home and come back to the mountain each time. But in the later games, it was starting with Harvest Moon 64, actually, that did this. You can actually put items in your backpack, and you can take them all home and then drop them out at the drop them out of the box. In fact, I showed the Crusader 64 that because they put the 64 game up recently. It's like come on, that's ridiculous. You have to do like each one to pull out of the chest. But I was like, that's like, compared to this one, they really enhanced it. But then again, that's
So
the idea.
this is the reason to come up here.
Yep.
Which is that you can jump into this hot spring, and every time you do that, it recharges part of your health. So if you wanted to stay up all night clearing the whole field, you could just keep coming back here and jumping in and out.
Yep.
I mean, that whole process might take, honestly, hours
Yeah,
to complete. I think when I did it, it would take probably 2 hours to clear it. So
feasibly, yeah.
So you may not want to actually do that on your first night, but you could, and then you would have this pristine field, clear of any stones and clear of any stumps. But I think we're just doing a short demo. I might not spend 2 hours clearing the whole field.
That's
I might
fine.
just show you what comes next.
You also want to go into town because even though there's nothing, even though everything is closed, the one place that's not closed,
The bar.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, so you could go, and the various choices you get to make in the game, including which ladies are you going to go after. One of the options you could make is you could decide to try to court the barmaid, because then it doesn't take away from any of your productive work hours.
exactly.
Because you can come here after hours, whereas everybody else you've got to go and see during the daytime.
Well, sort of. There is one exception to that. Oh, fine, you did drink, so there you go.
Maybe some juice.
It's not juice. The Japanese version says it's not, but either way, fine. You drank, and that's that idea. And you were asking me specifically. I think you asked when we were growing up. Okay, fine. I'll finish one thing, which is that Ellen does come here during certain seasons. So you can feasibly court her. Her father's up there, the guy who's a stumble over. He's like, hey, Dad, you had too much to drink. Let's go home. He's like, no, I'm gonna have another one. So that's that. And he's the shipper. I guess feasibly the romantic rival, though. Harvest Moon 64 is the one that introduced romantic rivals to the equation for that one. And actually, it was that one. I think you joked when we played this game the first time. You said specifically, hey, could you ever drink so much that they drown? In fact, there's that one right there. So yeah, you can feasibly court her as well. So you can bring stuff to her as well. Or just keep getting drunk as far as her. In case you can drink it. By the way, who'd you go after of the girls when you played this? Do you remember?
Remember.
I went after Ellen, I know that. I thought you went after Anne, but I don't remember if it's correct. Or Maria. I think you went back and forth between those two, I think. But I don't remember. Feel free to correct me if that's not right. He's like, yeah, Dad, come home. Like, yeah, we're not going home, sorry.
We've had all the conversations that we can have.
Right.
And the only other thing you can really do if you don't want to stay up all night and clear the fields is go to bed.
Yep. Yeah, just briefly to go on that thing is that with Harvest Moon 64, you can actually drink yourself so heavily you have to be carried home. In fact, one of the festivals, you have to outdrink Karen. She challenges you to a drinking contest, and if you don't win, you get your ass dragged home. And it's amazing. Or I think it's the Crusader 64 said, like, Karen's drinking everybody under the table. Like, yeah, you're not wrong.
So this is asking you whether you want to save.
Yes, it is.
When it says, do you want to write in your diary before you go to bed?
If you say no, by the way, what happens is that you say, like, either I can go to bed, or you can just say, like, oh, I gotta do something else.
So he just ate, so that means that the health has been restored, the stamina has been restored.
Yep.
And now, it's a new day, look, some birds are here, and, you know, one of the things that you can do during the day is go buy some seeds.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad idea.
How do you... Okay, then tell... Since it's going to be a while before we come back to this, what is the Inhuretnakht way of running Harvest Moon as a game for you?
Well, I mean, I honestly, I don't remember it as well as I would like, but where are the seeds for sale up here?
It's up north at the shop. This is the livestock store. You can buy livestock when you plant enough grass.
I don't have enough for that.
Yeah, you do have one bag, but the idea is that you have to plant the grass, and you have to wait 10 days for it to grow, and then cut it with the sickle, and then after 9 days it grows again. But it doesn't grow in winter, so you have to make sure you cut that enough through the season so you can have that going. There you go.
So what do we got here? We got different things.
There's a flower. You can buy that and give it to somebody as a present. Actually, weirdly enough, Nina, she only likes the flowers you buy from the shop. You give her the stuff from the mountain. She's like, I don't want this.
The grass seed, we can't afford it, but we've actually got some already.
You got one bag, yes.
And then we've got some other options here.
Turnips.
So, you know, I mean, I think early on you probably should buy turnips because
That or
they
potatoes.
get you moving very quickly. So,
It's your choice, though, because you can also buy potato seeds. The difference is that for turnip seeds, they will harvest after you water them 5 days after you first plant them. For potatoes, it's 6 days. And the prices that you get for harvesting them will be different. For turnips, it's 60 gold a pop. For potatoes, it's 80. There's also something I learned in years over playing this game. If you take your crops to the peddler, you know that table out there that he was at when we first saw him? He's there on Sundays. He's only on Sundays, assuming it's not raining. You take anything to him, he pays you more money than you get from the shipper. So basically what that means is that you can take the turnips or the potatoes you have or any crops you got on that day, take them over to him. You do have to go like back and forth to that, so you're only going to be able to harvest a certain amount for that period. He'll pay you more than what the shipper pays. So I think for the turnips, he'll pay you, I think he pays you like 80 to 100 specifically as far as how it is. And unfortunately, you do have to buy them each individually as far as each of the bags. The later games will enhance that, but that being said, you picked to go that. And as you said, this game is something that I like what you said about this game having a lot of freedom. You have a lot of choices, and I think I don't know if this is how you were when you first played this, but I think that maybe that was the appeal for me. The sense that I had never played anything like this before. I hadn't played Sim Earth, which was on it was a Super Nintendo before that as well, as was on the PC, which was a farming game, but not like this. But also the case that I had choices. I could do stuff, saying like, unfortunately I can't go in the well, but I had the choice to kind of play this game how I want to get myself set. As you mentioned, there are multiple endings, so yeah, Fog Up is going perfectly with Strange Horticulture that way. It's like, hey, I can do this. I can get a sense of what do I want to do with my focus of myself, of where do I want to make money, how do I want to manage things, what crops do I want to grow, because as you said, it is kind of a cost analysis case. Isn't that what you said, basically, earlier? To a
Well,
certain
yeah,
extent?
it's about saving and investment and compound returns, because the first crops that you plant are going to give you some cash that you can use to buy more seeds. So
Yep.
I mean, I think I would normally start with turnips because you get some money faster.
Right.
But I haven't actually done the analysis to check what the optimal strategy is. I guess you could probably derive it with dynamic programming. But
I'm assuming
That's
people
no
might
fun.
have since this game came out. It's been 26 years since this game came out. I'm pretty sure people come up with that idea because the underlying story I think on this game is that even though this was a late one on Super Nintendo, even though this Nintendo 64 was already out and PlayStation was still going strong and Sega Saturn was still around too, this found an audience. It sold about 100,000 units, which is not bad for that late in the console when people didn't know about this generally, but people found this. We found this. And it's something that took us completely by surprise, and I'm so glad we found this as far as it. Now the rest of the world's caught up to us saying, like, hey, we love farming cases, and then something like this in Stardew Valley.
this is a bug, but I like it, which is if you don't like where you've hoed, you can actually use a rock as an eraser.
Yeah, actually, some of the later ones actually do that too. I know 64 does that. I think Game Boy does that as well. So in that case, you do, as you mentioned, have a lot of choice about how do you want to plant out what you're doing. And also, when you till the land or use the hoe to till the land as it is, if you dig enough, you can also find a berry underneath that. So yeah, it does pay to just dig like crazy. And also, you do have the choice of how do you plant this. Yeah, you want to go into that?
Well, you kind of can't access the middle spot for watering. So,
Yup.
You might... I'm going to move the fence, actually, because...
Yep. See, it's something small. It's like, why would I care about moving a fence? Because, like, this game, like Strange Horticulture, puts you in that mindset. It's like, I want to move that fence. I want to handle this my way. And there's also benefits to doing that, because, yeah, if you're not careful, the wild dogs can come around. If you have chickens, they come out, they're killed. And actually, if you have the animals die, you actually will have a funeral for the cows if you don't feed them. Which I did not know it had, actually, until, like, about a couple months ago. And it's actually this very somber music where he's literally crying over the gravestone, and they memorialize that saying, like, 20th of summer, my cow died today. I was like, Jesus Christ, they're not screwing around. But
They're not.
But fine, because DollyFinn, you were asking, you're saying, what is an audience of a game like this? It's something that's appropriate for children, yes. And then you were asking, saying this, which is, would children play this? But I think
They might be bored by it. I mean,
I don't-
it's not action-packed enough for
I don't
them.
know, because that's what I'm wondering. Because
At the time, it was the games were, kids would do anything with the game. There was no option.
but maybe they would now. Maybe there's something that. So in this case, I think there's a. I don't want to turn my own horn, but I think it was brilliant that I pulled this out alongside Strange Horticulture for more of the reasons than I thought. Because initially it was like, hey, Inhuretnakt's here, I want to look at this game with him. But it kind of is something that, I don't know, it's something that, you're right, when it came out, this was 1997, so you don't have as many options for games, or you didn't have as many options you have today. You're never going to be able to play everything the way we used to be able to. But I don't know. There's just something about maybe the fact, and for us at least, and Inhuretnakht, tell me if you agree with this, the fact that there was nothing else like this, there's something, this got us under the spell. The thought, like, we wanted to play this game. It was like, this is so unique. We'd never seen anything like this. And we played it, and we just completely fell in love with it. And we just
I'm not
completely
gonna
got into an excitement
sow
to
the
it.
turnips, but here they go. I
Yep.
just sowed them, but I left off a square because the only way I can get in to water them is that way. But
Yep.
for the grass, you don't have that problem
Yeah,
because you can step on the grass.
Yeah, you don't have to put signs down so like don't walk on the grass. Like, no, who's gonna walk on the grass as it is? But
And I think I'll just show you how you water them and then
Okay.
put it to bed just as a demo.
Okay, well, actually,
Great demo.
well, in that case, then also, before we do end that, what music do you want to have play over the final element before I go into schedule and all that from this game? Do we want to go somewhere specific? Do we want to go to the town? Do we want to go to the mountain? Do we want to just stay in the house and listen to the spring theme?
Well, we can
It's your
water
choice.
first, and then we can
Okay.
choose.
Yeah, you don't have to water the grass. We're pointing out, but actually, I'll
I
go
don't
back
have to water the grass,
How long
do
does
I?
it take for the
I have to
crop
water
grow?
the
It depends on the crop.
turnip is 5 days.
Really?
Yeah, so basically it's 5 days from when you first plant and you make sure you water it every day. You can't overwater it, so it's like Strange Horticulture that way, but just in case you have to make sure you water it every
I
day.
haven't seen it gets darker.
It is kind of weird to see that as far as it, even on Super Nintendo it is.
He looks tired. Look, he was,
Yeah, he's getting tired.
I think he's done a great job in this demo.
Yeah, I mean, here's the other thing also, just to go back to this, because I'll regale this one story, and Inhuretnakht, I don't know if you remember this. One of our aunts came and visited when we first played this game. We were first playing this, we got the Nintendo 64, we were lucky enough to get that launch in 1996, but we were playing this game massively, and she asked me a question that I'm never going to forget this. She said, you know, you bought the Nintendo 64 last year, you're playing the two games you had, and it's raining, by the way, it's worth pointing out, which means we don't have to water today. And thank God this doesn't have the thing the later games have where you can get sick if you're out in the rain.
You also can't hear any music.
Well, that's fine. In that case, you can go to the next day for the purpose. Show a rainy day. Because that's also the way you look at the weather forecast. But anyway, our aunt, what she said specifically, she said, you bought the Nintendo 64, you're able to play stuff like Super Mario 64 and Pilot Wing 64 and Mario Kart 64, some of the stuff we're playing. What is about the Super Nintendo farming game that gets your heart aflutter? She didn't say exactly that way, but she was kind of questioning the idea as far as, fine, we're something more technologically advanced than this, yes.
Right.
But we still were hooked on this, and that's, I think, maybe one of the earliest cases I got, and I don't know if you're this way in Inhuretnakht as well, where I realized, as if I was getting the fruits of our labor are starting to grow, as it is. Or if you want to play this enough to see them grow completely, go ahead and do that, so we have our harvest. It's your choice. Oh, and also, when it does rain, the fence breaks. So you gotta do is you have to hammer it and take... Yeah, you have to hammer that out and take the wood out from the shed up there.
Basically, the game you get to a child who wants to be a farmer.
Yeah,
Persuade them about the hard work.
but it's more than that, because...
Not romanticized.
Well, fine, it is in addition. It is not romanticized in terms of the idea of, like, farming is hard work, but I guess it is romanticized as, fine, it is a dating sim. And so I think the first case you and I think, have ever played a game that has an element of that. We'll hit the select button if you're going to be standing here on the music, because then it'll stop time. As you fit the spring, so good job as far as the Inhuretnakht. But as I said, for this game, it kind of is a. You okay? Okay, fantastic. Just want to make sure. I don't want people to die on this show, as it is. But anyway, what I think, fine, it's because it's kind of it was the first case I think we've ever seen of like a dating sim. Because we've seen these things before. We've seen visual novels that do this. There's Tokamaki Memorial of Konami's that we never got in this country. Like the idea of like the dating sim concept. I'd never seen anything like this. It is a hard work case as far as farming, but it's much more than that. It's more than just going and farming. The same way that something like Strange Horticulture is more than just, you know, running a flower shop. And I think it's the particulars of this game and the style of it. It's very appealing. It's very pleasing with how it looks, how it sounds. It's very calming. It's very relaxing. And you mentioned this very well in Inhuretnakht, the idea that there's games that people live with, games like The Sims, and I would also toss Animal Crossing into that category as well. Which definitely was pulling off in that time. It's like, hey, this is like Harvest Moon. There's certain things that Animal Crossing is doing that's like this. You're like, what's Harvest Moon? It's like, oh, let me show you. So, but it's something that it puts you under a spell, a unique spell in gaming that you don't always get. And the case that sometimes, I said, our aunt, first she was like, why are you hooked on this? And we explained it. I think she got it, but it was also something that I think she was as surprised as we were in the sense of looking at this game, like, who would be attracted to this? What would be the audience for that? Would you really be hooked on this? But the answer is yeah, even to the point where I'm going along, we're playing this game, we're getting excited about the fact that, hey, we found this girl, as far as like the girl we're interested in, the girls we're interested in, as far as that they say yes, they're gonna marry us. We're excited about that. As far as we're excited about the idea of building our farm up. It looked derelict initially, but then it's really nice. We got the fields, we got the grass, we have cows and chickens. We have all these other aspects, other weird stuff. The case that a guy comes by, he says like, fine, if you give me one of your cows, I'll sell you a money tree for $20,000. It doesn't do anything, but you can buy that still. And it's all these weird things, and also something else I mentioned to a couple people, including the Crusader 64 as an example of this, which was the Japanese feel of this. There's definitely a very cultural element of this game, and the sequel especially goes in this, the 64 game in particular, because the idea of wishing for the best for the harvest and for the season. There's also open references to Christianity religion in this game that in the early days of the Super Nintendo and the NES, Nintendo did not want any of that. Zelda was a case of that where they said, no, you take out references to Christianity, which is the main religion of Hyrule, that was the idea. But they kind of were vague about it. This game came out in seconds. At this point, Nintendo said, fine, we're going to be okay with that. And they kind of got me into this element of understanding a culture more, especially that 64 game, because the 64 game opens with the wake of your grandfather. And you have people saying, like, I can't believe he's gone. But there's also one woman who's having a drink and saying, like, this should be a celebratory time for the great life he had. And usually you think, like, wait a second, why would you celebrate someone's life in the sense of being happy about it? But then again, happy in the sense of, fine, you lost somebody who's been around for a long time. But the case that he had a very long, fulfilling life, and the idea that they're celebrating that idea of life. And that's a big thing as far as Japanese culture. They're big as far as that. The cases where they use tragedies when it comes to death usually tends to be when it's younger people. Usually. Or if it's like something like unexpected, someone's killed or something. Usually. When it's like a long life and they've accomplished a lot of things, they'll be sad, yes, but they will also be in a case where they'll say, like, we're celebrating everything that they brought to the world. Or to the lives of their families and friends, or however that is. So I think a game like this really kind of, in its way, kind of broadened my horizons more than I would expect. And Aaron, what do you think about that, as far as a lot of that stuff I just said?
Well, I mean,
what did you think it brought to you?
I don't know that for me it was really quite that, but I just thought it was a really unique and entertaining and very relaxing kind of game to play, and it was very enjoyable.
I see it like sort of reinforcing the values of hard work and trying to say this will happen to you, and then that's why they bring the females in there.
Feasibly.
You work hard and you whatever, there will be, all good things will come to you. If you slouch, you never grab the farm.
And it's worth pointing out, like
It's Max Weber, it's
know
the
what I mean?
Protestant worth.
and actually, like Strange Horticulture, this game does have a bad ending. In fact, the game plays in seasons, 4 seasons. They're 30 days a pop. You run 2.5 years, so it's 300 days. Or 300 in-game days that it goes. The later games would get rid of that level cap, because people was like, I wish I could play longer than that. And they fixed that with the later ones, saying, like, fine, you play infinitely, basically. But that time they will evaluate what's going on with your farm, and if it's bad, fine. I'll explain what the bad ending is, that your farm is derelict, you get the sad music, your dog runs away. He's like, I don't want to be here anymore. So in that case,
It's reinforcing the values of hard work, and, stick-to-itiveness.
But it's
making sure that every day you rise early, stay, work all day, and then the sun goes down, you
But,
get a night sleep,
yeah,
and you-
but it's satisfying though. The thing is that this game expresses that satisfaction of that hard work in a way that is so unique
It is.
for this era of game in particular, and also for this kind of game. And you mentioned like the open world thing. In a weird way, you could almost see it as like a precursor to stuff like Grand Theft Auto. In a way, when you think like you have this big world, you have choice of what you could do to do things. Fine, that's a little different because you're running missions and things in an area, but you also have the choice like, hey,
it's also maybe somewhat less morally improving.
sure, yeah, absolutely. But then again, the question of some of them they're trying to go that direction, like Grand Theft Auto 4, I know is the one I think they did best, trying to thread that line a little bit. But what the idea is, like, you have choices, you have an open area of play and an open-ended design of what do I want to do to go through this, and it's just so pleasing, and it's the kind of thing that, even though you could say, yeah, you're playing you're maybe doing the same thing over and over again, it doesn't feel like you are. You add enough wrinkles, just like what Strange Horticulture did, to keep you going. And this is also going to be my prelude when we play Shenmue, because Shenmue is a game I think, well, they both know I love that game to death. But like this one, it's another one where you're kind of focused on one thing. It's something that people go gets like, this seems dull, and some people say like they think it might be. But it totally engrossed me. You have a lot of choices feasibly, where you could go, things you could do, things that are based on time of day, of all that, and it gets you completely in, or at least it did to me with that one, and same with Harvest Moon here. That really make it something that's so indelible. It's something that we remember after 26 years. And something that I think, even as far as children, I think they would find and appeal to this. Or if they're not, they can also play Stardew Valley, which is like the newer take on this, but there are tons of games like this now as far as like farming cases, to the point where whenever those Nintendo Directs come up, it's always a case of, they announced like 5 of those in a time. It's like, I keep saying like, remember Harvest Moon? It's like, yeah, we know Harvest Moon. It's like, what about Stardew Valley? Like, yeah, that's great. Like, we don't need any more. So they were onto something. They clearly got something to this.
What about the title?
The name?
Yeah, it's called Harvest Moon, because the Harvest Moon is the light of the harvest moon enables farmers to work late into the night, helping them to bring in the crops from the fields. This usually falls in September, so it's really that whole, right, symbolism, right?
A little bit, but also the Japanese name of this is actually Farm Story, so it's not the same. And also, this name of this franchise now, if people make it, is Story of Seasons. But the idea that you're kind of got a point there, saying that it is symbolic in a lot of ways. It's symbolic of, even taking the Japanese name of this, symbolic of the idea that you're kind of telling a story. You're basically telling your own story in a weird way, as far as what it is, or kind of going through the seasons, like time passing, perhaps, you know? And that's the interesting thing. And yeah, if you're liking what you're seeing here, we're going to come back to this at some point. If I end up having guests on this, it's going to be Inhuretnakht. There's nobody else who's touched on this game as it is, but we'll figure that. I don't know when we're going to do it, but I said, I gotta show this. I've mentioned Harvest Moon enough on the show. I know he loves it. He understands where I'm coming from clearly on this one as it is, and I understand him on this one as it is. So I said, for our final show of 2023, we needed to show this. That was absolutely what it did, and in that case, I don't know, Inhuretnakht, do you have anything else you want to add as far as like the last thing on this before we get to schedule and all that?
Well, it was it was fun to revisit this and made me think about all the other exciting things that you can do in the game, and maybe the next time we'll get to show something.
Sure. Absolutely. We will definitely come back to this game at some point. I guess we start with this one. I think this is going to be the case of it. We'll figure out what we're doing. I've been toying, like, maybe we should do this in seasons, but I said, this is going to be a question. This is going to come down the road. But I said, for now, since I don't know when we're going to be able to run this fully, I said I think we need to give this a look. And I'm glad we're able to look. Thank you, Inhuretnakht, for joining us for this. And for
inviting me.
And for telling your story on Harvest Moon, and also for Strange Horticulture and helping out with that, because it's also a question of,
3 heads are better than 1.
3 is better than 1, and also the best challenge Twitch, as is the case. So there you go. That's the end of Super Bowl Game Saturday for 2023. And Inhuretnakht, you said in last year's program, you said, can you do another 52 shows? It was 52 shows.
52 shows again.
52 shows?
But and that was despite the fact that I had to delay a couple. I had canceled a few shows because of the passing of my grandmother, but I also did have shows I ran. I had extra stuff, and I'm going to talk about one of those extra things as I talk about scheduling in a minute, specifically. But we did it, so this is the 3rd full year of Super Bowl Game Saturday. We've come so far, and we're not stopping on this program. As I've mentioned, we're going to be playing what we want to play, but also anything all of you out there in the Best Channel Twitch want to play as well, or want to see play. We go in discussions on that. We go deep. We go into these elements that maybe people are not talking about. And fine, I'll say this as far as the Crusader 64. He gives me jazz when it comes to Harvest Moon, but he's like, I know he does it out of love, but it's also this case that he did say this to me on Mario Golf. We always get bleh on because I showed him like the bad ported version of this because his button lag problems. This is not badly ported. This is perfectly ported from the Super Nintendo game, and it's filtered decently, so it actually looks a little better. But he said, I love the passion when you're kind of explaining something, showing him why do you adore this. And he knows, I think he'll see this part specifically, this element of this, and he'll say, I get it. He knows it. He'll know exactly where I'm coming from. And you're not where you're coming from on this. And I don't know, what's your experience? I don't know, I didn't ask you what your experience with Harvest Moon is, this franchise or this one.
Not really, but I think it's interesting, the whole concept of building and cleaning and your lawn and setting it up.
Right.
I mean, it's like a slow but steady sort of relaxing.
And it's like Strange Horticulture, so it goes really well. Talk about really good companion pieces to each other, as it is. So that's the idea of why we did them. And we did it as far as 2023 for the program. So yeah, we're gonna get 2024 started right. So I said I wasn't talking about this last week because I had to figure some stuff out. There's certain things I don't have completely updated as far as this, but I will go into what I have on schedule because a couple things. I did not edit the first part of Strange Horticulture from last week. I will edit that this week, and I'll upload both part 1 and part 2 here with our look at Harvest Moon for Super Nintendo on top of it. They'll go up on the YouTube site next week, but I have something going up on the YouTube site actually on December 31st, which is going to be our first annual compilation show. As far as, not the Memorial Day compilation program, we played a compilation game, but I took compilation elements, or I cut out parts of great feats we've had in gaming. Actually, I've some from both the guests we have tonight of 80 compilation, or 80 items of feats, of great feats, great gaming feats that our guests have performed, or I have performed. They're all on video. It will be uploaded on the morning of December 31st as the final element of 2023 before we start 2024 off with a bang. And our next show is going to be next week. As far as next Saturday, we did Friday because I said, hey, I think it's going to be the best way to run this to make sure both our guests can be here for this. So let's talk schedule. Next week is next Saturday on the 6th. We're going to be starting 2024 right with a 20th anniversary celebration. We're going to be playing Sonic Heroes. We played that a couple years ago, but I said when we did that show, I want to come back to that show, Super Hard Mode, because I have it unlocked. Because I'm running the Xbox, which is the best version to get when it comes to running that Super Hard Mode as far as the easiest way to unlock it. I'll go on that next week. We'll talk about that. So it's going to be a bit of a return to that. Our first return to Sonic in a while. I'll probably have more angry things to say about Sonic Superstars as it is, because I'm still not liking that. Especially now that I played Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which is so much better, it's not even funny. But we're going to take a look at that because actually it's worth pointing out on January 7th. That is 30 years, or not 30 years, it's 20 years since Sonic Heroes came out. So there you go. We're going to go back as far as that to take a look at it. We'll run the Super Hard Mode as far as the full run of Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, showing the full story with them with harder elements, because yeah, levels are really hard in that. And we'll also show off elements of the multiplayer a little bit as a little bit of an extra. So basically, it's going to be our return to a game. And then the week after that, Gemini 96 is coming back at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. By the way, the show on the 6th, that's going to be 7 p.m. as far as well. But January 13th, Gemini 96 is coming back for part 4 of Earthbound for the Super Nintendo. Inhuretnakht, you said you played Earthbound?
Well, no. I guess I looked at it once. I never really spent much time playing it, but I had a peek.
Let me tell you, Gemini 96, he's the one who gave me the push I needed on Earthbound to kind of understand exactly why that game is something special, another special one as far as RPGs on the Super Nintendo. And honestly, to him, that game is to him what this game is to us, as far as this great secret that is very well known as far as it, but he's been playing that game brilliantly as it's been. He adores it, he's been running that game like a champion as it's been, and going deep into everything he loves about it, all the nuances about it. We're going to be finishing the game as far as the story next time. We're going to understand what's going on with Gygus. We've seen Gygus, or heard the elements of Gygus the whole game so far, but what is this idea? What's going on? The answer to the plot will be revealed as far as that next time, as far as on January 13th. And we'll also have a couple extras. We're going to be showing off elements of the Japanese version, which is run Switch Online for that one as well. We will be using the Japanese version to show off some of the differences between the US release and that one, including a touch that might be familiar to you Blues Brothers fans. And then he will do one of 2 speed runs that he's going to be doing in this game. He's going to do an any % run of the game. We talked about this last year, so it's worth this bringing up, where he's going to play through the game using glitches feasibly to get through the game as fast as he can. He can do that in a little over an hour. And then in February, at a date to be determined, we have to figure this, is going to be the finale of Earthbound. He's going to do an 100% run of the entire game, speed running it in about 4 hours. And he actually has a recorded speedrun on speedrun.net for the purpose of running through that game pretty well as far as how it is, because he understands all these intricacies of this game. It's absolutely fascinating. It's him telling the story of this game, the same way Inhuretnakht you were telling your story on Harvest Moon, and DollyFinn you were telling your story on Strange Horticulture. Same deal with him. And I was like, hey, if you want to keep that video for record, for the purpose of you break a record or something, and I'll time him for sure, and I'll have him drive how the discussion's going, except for anything chat says. Yeah, that'll be that idea. But yeah, that'll come down the road that way. We also made a switch of our shows at the end of January. I said January 20th was going to be our next part of Lunar, Silver Star Story Complete for the finale, at least the PlayStation edition. I'm swapping that. We're doing that on the 27th, because that's going to be the best opportunity possible for Nocturne and Bloodspiced Moon to join us for that. I don't know. I've reached out to them. I have not heard back yet. Specifically, Protorova said to me, yes, we can do the 27th, because we said 20th initially, but I'm swapping them. So on the 20th, I'm going to be starting, by the way, the 27th show, that's going to be at 3 p.m. I'll have updates as far as Nocturne and Bloodspiced Moon over the next couple weeks, hopefully. But on the 20th, I'm starting Metal Gear Solid 2. I've been wanting to get back to this franchise for a while. Have you experienced Metal Gear Solid?
A little bit, yep.
Inhuretnakht, you?
No, I don't think so.
We played Metal Gear Solid 1 for this program. I actually played that game, revealing its story to myself live on the show. I'd never seen it. We had a great time as far as chat. Alec first came and he loved that game. He said, I want to see the sequel. I've been saying I want to do Metal Gear Solid 2 for a while. We're going to start it. We're going to be running Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance on the PlayStation 2 for it, to get an element of what's going on with Solid Snake now after the Shadow Moses incident that we had in the first game. It's an amazing game, and its sequel is also amazing. We'll talk about being prescient on a lot of different things. Metal Gear Solid 2, man, that absolutely called a lot of things maybe by accident in terms of elements of geopolitical elements of environmentalism, AI, which is a big deal going on now. That game pegged a lot of it, I think, feasibly. I don't know if Hideo Kojima was Nostradamus exactly in disguise, but there's a lot of interesting stuff, and it's also a case where it is insanely meta going into elements of Metal Gear Solid 1, so I'm going to warn right now. We play that game, I'm spoiling the plot of Metal Gear Solid 1 rotten, but I have our play of Metal Gear Solid 1 that we did on the YouTube site, and I'll link to that, of course, for the purpose of it, so you'll have an element to see that, because it was a great play we did. And we'll have another great play starting with Metal Gear Solid 2. Then February, dates to be determined. We'll have the finale of Earthbound. We'll have the next part of Metal Gear Solid 2. I thought we were going to have that on a Friday, but we're not going to have that on a Friday. I'll see what's going on as far as our last look at Lunar with the PSP version, as far as the final showcase, a shorter show. I don't know if that's going to happen. Well, I'll figure it. If it's not, I'll pull something else out in a quick element. But we're not going to do the Friday show for any of those except for February 23rd. That's going to be for Nikki and Edwack, because Nikki's coming back. She's playing our next two from Among Us Entertainment. She's playing Jim Sam, No Need to Hide When It's Dark Outside, and Putt Putt Goes to the Moon. They're point-and-click edutainment games that are on the PC, but they're not exactly just edutainment games. They're ex-members of LucasArts who made them, including Ron Gilbert, started the company of Humongous Entertainment. She's our expert of that enterprise. It's another one like Strange Horticulture where there's random elements to that game every time you play it. It's something that's appropriate for kids and something they can learn things, but also something that there is a puzzle game element to it. So very fitting to kind of talk about that with Strange Horticulture as it is. She's been playing both those games on the PC. They are short, so we're doing cut feed as it is to handle that with the tech, but we're going to play both those games. They'll go for about an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours maybe as far as it. So that's going to be that idea. They'll both be on it, and she is absolutely our expert on that, and I would not trust anybody else with that. And then getting into March, I want to try and get back to Pokemon Gen 9, because I know we got to get to the end of it where Edward and you also be in on the finale when we get there. I have enough Strange Horticulture. I have Game Dev Tycoon that's hanging. I'm going to have to do that one myself, as I mentioned over the past couple of weeks, but when we come back to that, we got 2 more parts. I'm going to eventually finish that one. I don't know what's going on with the Snowboard Kids 2 play we're going to do on March 2nd as far as Nocturne's concerned. I might have to put that on hold as it is, but I'll get a better answer, I think, over the next couple of weeks. But I'll figure it. And then I thought I had something else that was on the docket for that month. You know, since I have my schedule in my hands right now, let me briefly take a look at that, and then I'll talk about the last thing. and then we can shut the show down. So it'll take us to a nice 3.75 hours. Let me just see. Oh, right, next part, Mega Solid 2. Right. Okay, fine. Forgot about that. Sorry, I didn't mean to, ignore that as it was. So fine, the next part, Mega Solid 2 is going to be at that point. And then on one show I know is going to stand. That's going to be on March 30th. We're playing Justice League Task Force for the Super Nintendo. It was also on the Genesis, but I first wanted to see that for our April Fool's Day show. So we look at the game that's not so hot, but this is also a case where it's kind of a debatable one of how good is this game or not. Have you either played that?
No.
It's a fighting game starring DC characters like Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman and the Flash. But it's actually one of their first games by Blizzard, or one of the earliest games of theirs, who made the Lost Vikings and Rock and Roll Racing and Warcraft and StarCraft as a couple of examples. It's one that has a little bit of a bad rap, but it's also one that it's a complicated one. It's stiff as hell as far as a 2D fighting game, but I don't know if I can necessarily say it's terrible. It's an interesting one. We're gonna go into it. We'll talk about. We'll have a fun time. We always do. For the April Fool's Day stuff. April's still up in the air, but we'll still have Mega Solid 2 going on at that point. We have the compilation show for the Memorial Day compilation program elements. That'll be in May. We're doing Title Legends on Xbox. We're talking Space Invaders finally. We're playing tons of Space Invaders and tons of other stuff of Titles for that. And then other stuff I want to try and get to. We'll come back to Strange Horticulture sometime. I'll figure when we can do that for the post-game stuff. I figure we'll be doing Harvest Moon eventually. Inhuretnakht, you and I will talk on that one. And also the stuff I know I want to do next year. I'll do the stuff with the viewer request, because I'll take a viewer request each month. And I will also, I want to try and get to Shenmue next year. I really want to try and get to that. I'll see if I can do that. And then also, I'll see if I can do Rhapsody Musical Adventure for the PlayStation. I've been talking that game up a lot. And actually, as one of my Christmas gifts, Kazoo22 got me, or had Edwack make me, a beat set actually of Kururu and Cornet from that game, because they knew that I love this franchise, I love these games, and they was like, you might be the only person in the world who has Rhapsody merch. I was like, well, okay, fine. I bought the collector's editions of the Rhapsody Moral Kingdom Chronicles that came out this year, and the Printing Presents Nipponichi Classics Volume 3 that had it from last year, which come in these massive packages. I'll show elements of that or give pictures of that when I edit for when we get to those, but I also definitely put an edit of those two beat things, and thank you so much to them for it.
It's like my Yoshi.
Yeah, actually, Edwag made that as well. Yeah, because Edwag.
Hanging in my living room.
Yeah, I'll have a picture of that as well, because Edwag made a picture of Yoshi, or did beat art of Yoshi from Tetris Attack for the Super Nintendo, because he knows that DollyFinn loves that game.
Thank you, Ed.
Of course, absolutely. That's what we do. That's why we have the best guests and the best chat element going as far as our program, our independent program. And wow, I had such a great time this year. As far as everything, it's a great time tonight with Strange Horticulture. And DollyFinn for the recommendation for pointing to that. Thank you, Inhuretnakht, for joining us, helping with the puzzle elements of that, and telling your story in Harvest Moon, and hoping we get to Harvest Moon for full play.
It was a pleasure.
Soon,
I'm
yeah.
sure we'll figure it out.
We will.
I just say congratulations though to you on your year of doing this show. I mean, it's really something commendable.
I mean, how so? Well, you want to go into that last thing?
Yeah, because I think you're quite dedicated to doing this and making sure people get to play games that they like, and you have a very eclectic mix of games. You're not someone who's snobby about games, and you'll try.
Well, I'm not, yeah.
You value some of the games that are older, the new ones, and I think you have interesting people on playing the games they enjoy. And
Right.
it's been great.
Okay, I appreciate that.
So thank you for that.
Of course, thank you. I do appreciate that. I mean, it's always a tough thing, is that I do this more for fun. I've always mentioned that. I said I was doing it because I didn't see a lot of people, in fact, including all the people in this room, it's been when COVID was around to start. But it's also something that I realized, hey, I'm making connections this way, not just as far as the people I wanted to have on the show eventually, if we got to that point, but as far as chat, they came in and said, I have a story of this. They'd come and say, like, I'd like to see these games. I said, you know what? Let's play this. Let's go into this. Let's give some of these games that mean a lot to you. Let's let people tell the stories they have, not just the people on the show. I said, let's also make it so that the chat that's with us, they're with us. Let's make it so that they might be at a distance, they might be as far as like just watching us play. So how can we make this interesting? Let's talk about it. Let's have you right on the couch with us, even if you're not physically there. Let's have you active as far as it. Let's have you come up with insights that maybe we didn't think of or other elements to that. I've had so many cases of that, and also the guests. I was like, wait, what about this? And, you know, I never would have thought that. Specifically, or getting new experiences. Bring new experiences to me. It's not a case that I say I know everything in games. I don't. It's also a case that I didn't know in Strange Horticulture until DollyFinn you mentioned it to me.
Yeah.
But as I said, I'm really glad for these new experiences I'm getting, and these new experiences that I guess we're sharing with other people. You're saying, hey, this is a game that's of interest. I think it's worth showing. We're showing it. We're telling the story of it, and giving attention to it. And same with something like Harvest Moon. Really, anything we've done this year, and anything we'll do as the years continue. I said, I'll keep doing this as long as I can do it, just because I do love doing this. And that's the idea. And it's all about the relaxed elements. We had a long week, long year as it is, but yeah, we made it, and that's what the show is all about. So I think with that, thank you so much for joining me, to both you, Inhuretnakht, and DollyFinn, and also the dogs has been, because they've been rustling around. We're like, what was that noise? That was the idea. They're there as well. And to everybody out there, everybody's been in chat, everybody's been on the show this year, and everybody who supports the mission of this program. And yeah, I can't wait for what we got next year, and I can't wait to have all you joining us for the purpose of that. Okay. So with that, I think we're going to wish you a good night. Have a great rest of your weekend, a great rest of your year. Happy New Year for sure. Hope you had a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, and everything as far as your holiday. I'll see you next Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Super Hard Mode look and the 20th anniversary celebration of Sonic Heroes for the Xbox. And also check out the YouTube site on the 31st. You're going to see the greatest game of Feats compilation, and you're not going to want to miss either of those. So, until seeing you again, have a Happy New Year. Thank you so much for your support. Keep being awesome. And take care, everybody.